Well, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. It is IndyCar night on the Elite Racing Network. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gotzo, and welcome to Round 7 of the Elite Racing League's premier racing division, the P1 IndyCar Championship, as we come to you tonight from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana for the 5th annual F5 Challenge 500. It's our one and only 500-mile race before the big Indy 500 in April. It's the only warm-up that they will get a chance to do, a long-distance run, and see what it's going to be like in similar conditions. Not identical conditions, but similar conditions to what we might see when we get to the 2.5-mile oval in Indianapolis in April for the big 500-mile race. It's one of our big crown jewel events of the A portion of the season, and we are getting ready to go racing. As always, joining me in the booth is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Luis, we're at Fontana, a place that you've won, a place that you've done very well at here, and we are going to see faster speeds than we ever have here before with this latest update in this car.
Yeah, actually, the fastest lap by Alexis Newsom, 223.3, something like that. I forgot the number because the screen changed for me. But really fast, even in the qualifying. So I calculate 225 top speed by itself. In the corner is going 220. So really fast for all these drivers. It's gonna be a long race with maybe with top speed over the 230 in the draft, and maybe more in the draft. So it's gonna be really demanding the tires. It's gonna be really interesting after we saw on Long Beach between Buckingham and Stanley. Actually, Stanley is not here.
We're not going green.
We're going to get an extra lap here to get the cars in formation. Let's get our starting lineup in here. And on the 4D Racewear Pole Award is Alexis Newsom. And on the front row in the middle, our defending Indy 500 champion Hunter Smith. And another 500-mile race winner, Chad Frankenfeld, on the outside of row 1. Back in row 2, Chris Albrecht, pole sitter at Indianapolis. Ryan Scholl, he's looking for a 500-mile race win. Hunter Ingrave, watch him. He is a big fuel saver. He would like to get a big oval win here tonight in one of our biggest races of the season. Defending winner of the U.S. 500 at Michigan, Seb Alexander in row 3. Tyler Fody, he's still tight in the championship. He would like to have a 500-mile win. And Paul Mini Letters, he was one of the fastest in practice. He's on the outside of row 3. Tristan Fortson, winner at a very similar track in the Vote of Indy Oval Series at Michigan. Brian Blauman in the middle of the row, and Shane Coker on the outside. Matt Wagner on the inside of row 5. Prime time, John Stellard in the middle of the row, and Clindy. We'll watch him as he tries to come from the mid-pack here on the outside of row 5. Then Colin Heil, Victor Aldrich, and Richie Hearn. Richie in the Ralph's Food for Less classic livery, bringing what brought him to the dance right here in Fontana. And now row 7, Daniel Falkenham from deep in the field. We will watch him along with Ethan Stanley, two of the guys that were right next to each other on the finish on that last race in Long Beach, just a little south of here, on the shores of the Pacific. Is Ethan Stanley in the middle, and then Mason Mitchum on the outside. And then we got Decker, Gavin Hibbs, and Nigel Camargo. Remember, Gavin Hibbs does very well at these tracks. Jared Rexing, Brian Greenlee, and A.J. Hobson on row 9. Justin Vandermarl, Matthew Weeks, who has won on a similar oval and 500-mile race, and Pedro Bleibel. And then back on row 11, Craig Forsyth with a 500-mile win, and Nigel Stock. 32 cars tonight. This is a very good analog for what we are going to see here in about a month when we get to Indianapolis. And Alexis Newsom still on pit road. So everybody gets to move up a spot. And 2 spots. 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 2 spo
it's interesting. Really interesting. I think she thinks it's gonna be a big one, and maybe it's good because she's the first road in the pit stop, so she's gonna lose time when she's going out.
Green flag is out for 500 miles. Our last warm-up, major speedway warm-up before Indianapolis, and we're going off into one. It is Hunter Smith, Chad Frankenfeld, and Chris Albrecht, three of the drivers who've had probably the most luck at 500-mile races over the last 2 seasons. They're steaming down the backstretch. Coming right at you, Luis Gonzalez-Nunez.
Yes, it is. So I think we have a nice restart, actually. We started in 3 wide, but it was a really good restart with all of these guys, and just keep in mind, I always said this, keep in mind, 250 laps, please.
250 laps, 500 miles here at the former Oval in SoCal. It is Hunter Smith, Chad Frankenfeld, Chris Albrecht, Ryan Schuld, Hunter Ingrave, your top 5. Now the field actually adjusts a little bit as Frankenfeld, Albrecht, Hunter Smith, Ryan Schuld, Tyler Fode, your top 5. And we're going to see a lot of this all night long, comers and goers. And really, you've talked about this already, and this is a kart livery throwback race. So we're seeing Frankenfeld in the Tony Kanaan throwback. Chris Albrecht, purple lap, 222. Brian Blauman, purple lap, 222. We're going to see faster race speeds here. But we might also see a little bit extra tire degradation. As now the cars are faster, we might see them wearing a little bit more of that rubber down as they go into these corners at a little faster speeds, faster than normal.
Yeah, actually, you're put that point in the off before we started in the race, and it's pretty good mention. So it's like if you do the high line to the top, maybe you're gonna lose less, but you're gonna take a long time to make the turn. So people like Peter Aldrich with the Robbie Gordon,
we got a couple of the Robbie Gordons, but Victor's actually got his team on the side, and then there is Daniel Falkingham with the straight Robbie Gordon livery. Again, it's an homage race. You can go a throwback if you want, a direct throwback, or you can use the base livery of a throwback to sport your own team livery. That's exactly what Victor Aldrich has done. Tyler Fode, purple lap, 222.7.
So Richard Hearn used the IRL Las Vegas win, but it doesn't matter.
He raced it in kart. He raced kart and IRL that year.
Yeah, so that is a double advantage for having this own livery and also the own name.
Yeah, that's his car. So, I mean, I'm not going to fault the guy for wanting to drive his car in the Ralph's Food for Less. It would normally be a Ralph's Food for Less Lola. Actually, I think he drove a Renard at Indianapolis for the 500. I think he actually might have had a Renard for much of his time. I know he switched to Lola at one point. I think it's maybe when he went to the Budweiser sponsorship. Then inside, there's Clindy in the Motorola throwback. Mark Blundell won here before in kart competition. Whoa, look at him spread out there through the corner. It's so wide here at Fontana that you could go anywhere you want, but eventually that arrow wash kind of scoots you up to the wall where you have no choice but to kind of get in the single file.
Yeah, actually inside the cockpit you see everything is small and you're thinking you cannot fit the car over there, but for example us, you see on the camera TV, and me I see it in the far chase. It's like you can put the car over there, but no, it's really impossible. And like you said also too, it's the dry side draft, the dirty air, everything is put you. Nope, you cannot put the car over there.
And the Elite Racing League's pole award once again goes to Alexis Newsom, who is in 29th spot there in the Marlboro Team Penske throwback with the Team I5G sponsorship on the side. Very classy. I like it. She is already up a couple of positions, deciding to start from pit road and worked her way up now inside the top 30 on the racetrack. She is your pole award winner again for the 4D Racewear Pole Award. Check out their line of made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the description. Gavin Hibbs, 223.2.
getting a little more faster. Yeah, I think it's gonna be more faster when more fast actually, or faster in the moment when they're gonna put the finish line for the finish on the race. So I will say the first 210 laps is like just racing around, running timing, and the lap 40, 30, 20 laps to go is that's the action when it started.
Well, we have been behaving ourselves very well. We're inside the first 10 laps here of this 500-mile, our first 500-mile race of the season. So settle in, don't go anywhere. This is the 23rd time that the Elite Racing League has raced at Fontana. However, this is only the 5th time that we've raced here in the IndyCars. Other notable winners here in the lineup from other Elite Racing League series is Primetime John Steller at 23-7. Chad Frankenfeld won in the 2020 Elite Grand National Series. Tyler Fode's won here before in the Grand National Series and Cup Series. Jared Rexing here in the Lotus 49 Series, also as the Grand National Series. And Matthew Weeks here in the Elite Cup Series in 2025.
You're gonna mention later about the race standing over here in Fontana, but winning the race by the pole. That's all. I think that's it. I didn't find the other one, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, Jason Profin won the race in 2024 from the pole. And this is the only one do that stuff, I think. Maybe you're going to correct me on that.
No, you're right. The first time we ever came back, this is the site of the very first Elite Racing League IndyCar Series race, and that was won by our good pal Matt Hollaball, who later went on to win that inaugural season championship in 2019. In 2022, they came back here. Nate Seifer, the Season 2 champion of the Formula Indy Series, won here over Victor Del Porto, and Nick DeGroot finished third. 2024A, as you mentioned, Jason Brophy, his first win and his first career start over Ethan Stanley by 12 thousandths of a second. Tyler Fode finished third. And then in and then when we came here again for our last race, it was, I believe it was 2025A, a season ago. Adriano Pinero over Clindy by 28 thousandths of a second. Ethan Stanley finished third, about a tenth of a second back. Only 2 cautions for 3 laps in that race. 16 cars on the lead lap and 26 cars started. So we got a bigger field than last season already, as we're 4 different positions on the racetrack, spread it out in turns 3 and 4. As we see Frankenfeld, Fode, Schold, and Albrecht as your top 5. And there we see Superman flying on by, Ryan Schold, and that Jimmy Vasser throwback livery. And he's not only going from 3rd to 2nd, he's going from 3rd to 1st, putting Superman on the point. No kryptonite here.
Jimmy Vasser, man, that's names. What if in the good time when Jimmy Vasser, it wasn't in Chip Ganassi winning the Indy 500? Who knows? I know he attempted to do it, but he couldn't. But yeah, Ryan Schultz is going on to the first and swapping with working on swap with between Chad and Ryan, sorry, and Chris Albrecht in the livery of. Look like Mansell, Andretti.
Definitely one of the Newman Haas liveries. Here is last week's battle resuming on the racetrack again. Ethan Stanley and Daniel Falkingham in 13th and 14th. Each of these guys up 6 positions from where they started, but they have not come from deep in the field as Gavin Hibbs, who is running the high side. In fact, net coating up against the wall. Gavin Hibbs up 12 spots. And then John Stellard, primetime John Stellard, in his first start here in the Elite Racing League. He's going for the lead.
We cover the first DNF. Chris Albrecht hit the wall in turn 4. Good brakes on Forson in turn 4, and he is on pit now.
Victor Aldrich showing a meatball flag on pit road right now.
He's Victor, sorry. I said Chris, but Victor.
So only one Robbie Gordon car out there now.
But by itself, good action on the action to avoid the accident on the 3-4 zone. Also, it was Richie Hearn around too, try to avoid that issue. So unfortunately for him, he's in the pits, and I think it's gonna be for a while.
Lap 19 of 250. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoy ERN's coverage of the Elite Racing League's P1 IndyCar Championship and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to click that bell to get reminders of future iRacing broadcasts here on the Elite Racing Network. And while you're at it, give the guys a thumbs up. This is a 500-mile race. This is truly a special event when it comes to IndyCar racing. Only the biggest events are 500 miles in IndyCar racing. So whenever you see an IndyCar 500-miler going on, you know it's a race to watch.
Oh, in chat said it's Chris Albrecht's birthday today. So thinking about it, win the race in your birthday.
I think that has actually been done before in real IndyCar racing. I need to look it up. But I'm pretty sure it has been done before in real IndyCar racing.
Winning your birthday?
Yeah, I think there's a...
For sure.
Yeah, I know it's had to happen, yeah.
Thinking about win the Indy 500 and your birthday. That's a big one.
I think Al Unser has a birthday pretty close to the Indy 500. Here is Frankenfeld down low, and he's going to want to get that lead back. But we got about a group of 6 now up front. Frankenfeld, Stellard, Schold, Albrecht, Paul Mini Letters, and Seb Alexander kind of all together. Tied onto the back of Paul Alexander is Matty Wags, who is not in a, must not have got his paint in time, or, yeah, I show him in a black, just a plain black car.
Black, green, white.
What we'll do here is we'll do a Control R just to make sure that we're getting everybody's liveries in here. Since this is a throwback race, we want to make sure everyone's liveries that they've worked on to get painted, make sure they show up. .23 of 250, and we're looking at anywhere between a 5 and a 7 stop strategy if we go full rich here. If you save, you might be able to do 40 laps on a stint. So we are about just past. If anyone's in full fuel save, they're just past the halfway point. If you're not in full fuel save, you're more along the lines of maybe 2/3 of the way, maybe 75% of the way done, and looking to make a pit stop here probably the next 10 laps or so. We'll see.
Yeah, it's one of the, I don't want to say young, but it's getting there, learning about the others, and that's a good thing about that. And now he is leading, he's in the orbit of all this community, actually. Leading, be in the top 10, top 5, podium, actually. So pretty good for him to be here leading couple laps in the California 500.
We'll give you an update on the weather here. There you see it, 115 on the track temp, 84 on the ambient. There's actually a car just not too far down the road from the leader. I think that's Colin Heil. He's fallen back to the rear. That's a little speck that you saw on the horizon there. But we are very much starting to get strung out here. And Daniel Falkenham, we just caught a glimpse of him. There he is again, and he has moved up 10 spots to P9, and he is right with Gavin Hibbs. We've seen Gavin, whether it be at Michigan or here, do very well at these tracks. And but one of the problems, though, with Gavin is he seems to kind of outrun his mileage. He pretty much dominated a former 500-mile race at the sister track in Michigan before, and he just unfortunately ran himself out of fuel before he can get himself in the position to win. He's very much looking for a win here, and he is right now battling Daniel Falkenham. This is for 8th, Lewis.
Yeah, actually, it's running up because I think it's time to come into the pit. You don't want to be in that position when you're coming to the pit in the position 10. 11, 15, that's tough because what if one of the front guys have a good exit on the pit road? Oh my God, I see, oh my God, almost Paul, many letters, hit the wall, have a thumb breaking point with Gabby Hibbs, almost have the first yellow. That's
oh Whoa! And right behind, right next to him, that's Tyler Fode. Right behind him is Clindy.
I think Paul is loose. Really loose.
Let's ride with my second favorite racing Polishman. Because my favorite racing Polak is actually me. My second favorite racing Polak probably is Robert Molechka. So I guess Paul's my third favorite racing Polak.
I don't know. I gonna say he have the foot feedback too high. It's make all this move, but it's also loose.
Yeah, he is lifting and he is just letting people go. He is getting freight trained on the high side.
The thing when he moves so many times, that thing you correct so many times, and you always be focused more in the wheel than in your partners around you, and that is a big issue on the end. So I think he needs to adjust that stuff. Or for sure, it's small thing you have to adjust. But thinking about the people in the real life have this issue also around, also the adjustment inside, also the wall, also, my God, it's a lot of things.
The restart of trading paints, make sure we got everyone's paints. I think we see a couple out there that just didn't get populated for whatever reason. Riding with Paul many letters, and yes, he does have his hands full right now.
That's unfortunate because the pit stop is coming soon to everyone, and he was in the top 10 next to top 10 next to Daniel Falkenham, and now he is in the 17th. So in one lap you can lose a lot of position in one click. So that's because maybe the tires on the pole, they are gone. So I think it's in the time they are open window to come into the pits, and don't be ashamed to come in early. I think it's a time to come in. If you have too many trouble, why not?
Today's 5th annual California 500 from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana is proudly sponsored by F5 Challenge. This nonprofit organization enriches lives through face-to-face fellowship and exciting adventure challenges in a faith-driven environment. Their mission is built on the 5 F's: faith, fellowship, fitness, fortitude, and fun. F5 Challenge inspires people to lead active, connected, and purpose-filled lives. To learn more, to get involved, visit their website or follow them on social media. All the links you need are in the description. Lap 35 of 250. We've been clean and green the whole way. I don't want to jinx anybody, but we are off to a good start here for our first 500-mile race of the season, of the year.
John Stellar is calling for the pit right now. So coming. He's going to be the first. Maybe a couple going to come in with him, but he's coming for the pit now.
So we're going to see who can go farthest. And here he comes off the banking, getting down to the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit at those cones. He does. He is safely on the pit road, and he is the first of the takers to come to pit road for the first round of possibly 5 or 6 pit stops, depending on how the mileage goes today for these drivers. He is the first to bite. He is on pit road right now. Meanwhile, up front, Chad Frankenfeld picks up the lead. Right behind him, Seb Alexander in the Power Team livery. fellow countryman Kenny Breck, an Indy 500 winner, is that livery's former owner. And now Frankenfeld coming to pit road. He's now off the banking in the Little Eagle entry and throwback Tony Kanaan entry. And he is on, and we got another car coming on the pit road too in the background there. That is, not sure who that is.
AJ Hobson.
AJ Hobson in the Coors Lights. That's not really a kart throwback livery. Oh, he missed his marks, though, and he really missed his marks because he's going to have to back up all the way and now find the pit crew again as we see a car behind him a little bit further behind on pit road. So many cars this time by, 4 cars. And we do have Matt Wagner in a better green, black and green livery. So he is throwing the luck into the win. The winner at our opening race this season at Motegi, he's going for the green. He's like, you know what? I don't care if it's bad luck. I'm going to wear it. And he needs to get another win. Coming to pit road, Ryan Schold. What did he get? Oh, he loses it coming off the corner. Oh, but that's really going to cost him on his time on pit road. But what a tight moment for the PRI Hoosier 500 admin as he gets really close to that inside wall. John Stellard coming off the pit road, 2:23.8.
Getting there. Sepp Alexander is calling for the pit next on by. Many others calling for the pit, so big party is coming now.
And we see Chris Albrecht coming to pit road. Gavin Hibbs coming to pit road. The lead car there, Seb Alexander, won our last 500-mile race at Michigan last year for his first career Elite Racing League IndyCar win. That turns the lead over to Matty Wags, who he's been the chief of the fuel savers right now, and lo and behold, Clindy, he's up there too. We know Clindy can save fuel, Daniel Falkingham. Here comes Daniel with a late break and a late break on the brakes on the racetrack, and wow, he saves it. What a run off the racetrack onto the apron on the pit road, and he closed up a ton of space on Wags. Clindy now out there by himself, saving a lot of fuel. Surprise, surprise. Ethan Stanley doing the same thing. And Hunter Ingrave. Here comes Ethan Stanley to pit road. And look, to nobody's surprise, and I was talking with another, oh, wow. That was Brian Blauman. No, it wasn't Brian Blauman. Now, who was behind Ethan Stanley? That was Hunter Smith.
Yeah. In
his kart throwback of another Smith driver.
Justin Barrymore lose the controller in the exit on the pit road just when he crossed the cone, and think he too early to come into the pit to the track.
Hunter Ingrave.
He's out of the race.
Hunter Ingrave comes to pit road, and he is, I believe, the last of those that's, well, actually, I don't think Alexis Newsom has come to pit road to answer actual pit stop. She started from pit road. Now she's coming off of pit road, so she has answered the call. So Hunter Ingrave, once again, goes the longest. He is one of our big fuel savers, and he goes deepest into the lineup, or into the race, approximately 43 to 44 laps for Hunter Ingrave.
Pretty impressed, actually. He's coming out to the pit. Talking about Alexis, I think, well, she recovered a lot of position because she came on she was in top 15, little more back on top 15, and now she is on 14. So I think she needs to push in a little bit hard now to try to catch all these guys on the front and be on the top to finally, maybe, to win the race.
So Hunter Smith is in the livery of Mark Smith. Mark Smith was a kart driver. He drove for Walker Racing. Never qualified for an Indy 500. In fact, that is one of the actual historical facts. A Smith has never qualified for the Indy 500. Mason Mitchum, 225 flat. But
Wow.
that is the livery he's chosen, and ironically, it's this Smith, Hunter Smith, who won the Indy 500 the last time we went there. So whether or not whether a Smith has ever qualified for the 500 for real life is kind of a moot point for Hunter, who has won the Indy 500 here in the Elite Racing League. That is the livery of Mark Smith. He only had a handful of kart races.
The points leader in the top 5 now.
And that is a very good segue to the points. Daniel Falkenham, your leader, over Tyler Fode, Ethan Stanley, Hunter Ingrave, and Clindy. Then we got Blauman, Frankenfeld, Hearn, Schuld, and Troiano. Troiano not in the lineup tonight. So our entire top 9 is in the lineup tonight, Lewis. And really, looking at these top 5 in the point standings, and look at the top 5 in the racetrack. You got Falkenham, Fode, Stanley, Ingrave, and Clindy in your top 5 in points. And we'll put that away. And then we got Frankenfeld, Schuld, Stellard, Falkenham, Alexander, top 5 on the racetrack. Then we got Albrecht, Hibbs, Wagner, Fortune, Fode, Clindy, Ingrave. So we go down to at least position 12, and we're start seeing most everybody that's in the top 5 in the points.
Yeah, actually, it does good to have all of these basically top 10 without Troiano in the lineup here racing for this 500 miles. Like I said, Daniel is in the front with 15 spot in the fourth. Sorry, going for the third on the way is a Chad Frankenfeld. Like I said, it is difficult to think about it. What if? Because this. Oh my God. Okay, I thought it was gonna be 3-way, but they have a little bit touch with the Ryan Schuld and the. Okay. He wants to go to the first, and that's good for him because at one more point he can gain for that leading one lap. Now he's going for John Stella.
And he goes underneath Stellard. Stellard stays high in 3 and 4, and to the point, our points leader, Daniel Falkenham, who it was a heck of a shootout between him and Stanley, Ethan Stanley, at Long Beach 2 weeks ago. And if you missed that race, go back and watch it as they dueled at the very end of that race for the victory. Falkenham nursing a car with one wing on the front and just couldn't bring it home. But check out this group. I mean, just throw a blanket over the top 14 right there in your picture. That is the entire top 14.
It was crazy race, man. Really, I don't know how he's driving for 12 laps, 10 laps or something like that, with one no win on the front, and he braking like he have the best car in the lineup. So, and the end they have an incident with the Stanley. They give a penalty for the Stanley because for contact. I think it was a race deal to make the fair show we have that day, and they give you to Falkenham the winner that day.
So everybody at least one pit stop down.
Stanley. Yeah, Stanley won the race.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, I said Daniel. Daniel got the penalty. Sorry.
And question in chat, what lap will they be pitting? Now, we've of course all pitted, but that brings up a good point. How long have we been out there since the last pit? Here we see Daniel Falkenham at 10 laps, Stellard at 15. So Stellard, he pitted at lap 37. He only went 36 laps, so he's only got another 20 more laps before he's due back in. I mean, that's the level of we're clicking off laps that quickly here at California with the new speeds that we're turning in these cars. Schuld 13, Hibbs 12, Frankenfeld 15, Albrecht 12, Fortson 11. But the key to look at is Newsom at 10, Clindy at 10, Ingrave at 9, and Smith at 10. So those four drivers right there got the best mileage on that very first stint. And that is key because the later in this race we go and the more we stay green, if we stay green, knocking on wood, Lewis, that final stop will be key for those four drivers because it's a shorter fill for them.
Yeah, actually, it's really interesting the strategy, especially with Newsom, because she is in the back of the field. Well, almost in the back of the field with Clendy and Engrave and Smith also too. Save fuel. So I think all these guys over here, they have a good chance to do one more short stop, or maybe less, one of the less stop in the end. But the big problem over here, because on the map is two groups divided. So the group are between 1 to 14, and then we have the other group with the leading by Forsyth on the front, and finish on 24, I think so, with Brian Gridley in the second group. So they try to catch the guys, but the problem is the fuel mileage is gonna be affected on the end, especially with these two guys, Blomman and Forsyth.
And we see Fody cutting underneath Wags. This is for 9th and 10th and doesn't get the run. Wags holds him off, stays high in the corner. Fody maintains his position. Lexus Newsom, big run on the high side, using the draft of Wags to pull herself up into the battle. Hunter Smith, the battle of the Hunters back here. Hunter and Hunter. The Hunters are the hunting right now. Oh, big twitch there for Hunter Ingrave on the backside. Very bumpy race course. If it looks bumpy out there, you see these cars moving a lot, it's because this is when they scan this place, they never gone back and rescanned it, which it probably would have been bumpier if they went back and did that. But this racetrack only was paved once in its entire time frame, but that it opened in '97 and closed just very recently. Never repaved the place. So if it looks bumpy out there, you see these cars going up and down, and it is because it is. It is very bumpy.
It's bumpy. Actually, you have to be aware to don't make that move too violent. If you're gonna make the pass, just don't just turn it at once, because you can find that bumpy, and that bumpy send it to the wall. So like it's happened with the Justin and in the exit on the exit on the pit road. So especially over here in turn 3 of turn backstraight, sorry, close to the wall.
Yes.
If you go too close to the wall, maybe you can send it to the wall because it's bumpy.
Yes. In fact, it's happened to me before racing here in an IndyCar.
Oh,
you
no.
just get up in the bumps there and turns right before turn 3, and you want to grab that wheel and turn it to the left, and you hit the bump, and all of a sudden your car is up against the wall. It just happens. So you got to keep your cars not as close to the wall as you want to, because it is very bumpy around here.
The second group is almost there. That's Mason Mitchell telling radio to Forsyth. Maybe a couple, maybe 4 more laps. I think they're gonna catch, because why? It's not because they tried to the best to catch him. It's because Hunter and Grave is saving fuel, and that's why he's holding the same position, Hunter and Grave over there, and he's not doing any moves. So that's why the group on the back is will catching in like a 4 laps or something like that. They are now 1.1.
Yeah, let's give you some gaps here. Give you some gaps. This is what we're watching right now is Mason Mitchum, this number right here, and watch it come down as he gets closer to Hunter Ingrave. So we're watching a battle for 14th and 15th. Watch this number as he creeps closer and closer and closer, bringing 16th, 17th, 18th all right back up with him. And it really might look like they might catch this group about the time that we're looking at the next round of pit stops.
Yeah, that is pretty good, man, because they are really close. Actually, they are 20 more laps or something like that, or maybe 15 more laps, depending on how they decide to come into the pit to that. So they are really smart. Now, I think for Forsyth and Mason, it just take a little bit break, stay behind of in this case, Clendy, and just save fuel, or maybe like a resting over there and take a break a little bit, because it was a really intense. I can tell you, it's really intense when you see that your relative for 3 seconds, that group. 3 seconds could be more, maybe could be 5 seconds or maybe 6, and then your race is over, or maybe you finger crossed to come in a yellow flag. In this case, they did a good job, and that's a good thing when you do all these move, swapping with the people legends. So I want to say legends, so people knows how to drive these cars.
No fast repairs tonight, not in the Elite Racing League. 9 sets of tires, one in the car, 8 in the pits. Of course, the 55 mile per hour pit road speed limit. No lucky. Actually, I think I don't think we get lucky dogs. I want to say we do, and I keep messing that up. Now that group behind, led by now Craig Forsyth, has caught the tail end of that rear group and of the lead group. So the second group has joined the first group. They have morphed together, and Forsyth is now there, bringing a whole host of cars with him, including Mason Mitchum, Brian Blauman, Jared Rexing, and Shane Coker.
So it's no lucky dog.
No lucky dog. That's what I thought. Yeah.
The only advantage of to don't have a lucky dog and have a one more passing yellow is you can come into the pits after the pace car coming in. So because we have a restart by the leader, so you can come into the pit, you do your wave around, you come into the pit, you can restart your stuff, and then come in by 0. So that's a good thing about the league, to have a restart you have a one more lap after the pace car is out.
Yeah, they do more what I would call a traditional IndyCar style restart here. If there is a caution, we get one more lap after the pace car goes in, and then the field will be under the command of the leader, and the leader then can bring them up to speed a little bit faster, and then they'll have somewhere between turns 3 and 4, and on the front straight, they can get a chance to go on an oval, and that really eliminates the accordion effect that you see in a lot of league races. Right now at the point, it is John Steller. John out there now in his 31st lap of this stint. He went 36th last time. He led a good portion of that. Do we see John Steller now come to pit road in about 5 laps from now? Right behind him, Ryan Schuld, who is tucked in line, and Ryan's really not racing for position or the lead right now. He's just hanging on. And he's allowing John Steller to do the hard work in front of him, and that is poking a hole in the air.
Yeah, actually, John Steller did 36 last time, and he's in 32. So I think, like I just said, is in maybe in 4 laps is coming to the pit, and that calculation on the end is a big danger then. So you don't want to be in that position when you're thinking about it. Oops, I think because I want to be on the leader all the laps, I have to come into the pit with 5 or 10 to go, and that is a killing when you want to go to the end to win the race. Actually, basically, I think for John is coming to the pit, try to find somebody like because everyone is spraying around, and try to just save a fuel over there, and then wait for coming to all of this group, and then regroup again and stay on behind, because you need to save it a little bit more for coming to the pit and do that short stuff.
All one group on the racetrack now, all the way back to about 20th position. Between CART, the Indy Racing League, and the IndyCar, the series has raced at California Speedway 14 times. 10 of those were 500-mile races. CART using a track measurement of just over 2 miles, 2.029 miles. As their track record, well, it is the world closed course speed record, as John Steller coming to pit road. Keep in mind, the closed course speed record was set on a track that's longer, bigger, measured by CART more than 2 miles. CART measured the racetrack at 2.029 miles, and still with that measurement, Jill DeFerrin turned one of only 2 qualification laps ever to Dallas Stollard misses mark. One of 2 qualification laps ever to exceed 200. Oh, he's still trying to high five. Oh, you got to hate that right there. That's going to really slow him down. One of 2 qualification laps that have exceeded 240 miles per hour. One was the world record set by Joe LaFerrin at 241.4. And Mauricio Gugelmin also turned a 240 mile per hour lap here that a lot of people forget about. So the only 240 mile per hour qualification laps ever in IndyCar racing history, period, happened right here at this racetrack. And on one of those laps, if they would have measured it at 2 miles, it probably would have been faster, Lewis.
For sure, it's going to be more faster. You know what is more faster? The dropping of the Daniel Fockenham. He's out of the race. This 2 laps down now. He was in the top 5. Now he's on 29 with 2 laps down.
Yeah, Daniel Fockenham actually have showing him retired at the moment. So not sure what happened for our points leader.
Soon it's going to show DC for him. Actually, now it's DC.
Okay, so it's a DC. So it is a mechanical for our leader. And that is, he can run back. He can get back in this race, but he is just going to be down in the order, unfortunately. So a critical DC for Daniel Fockenham. Now, you got to wonder, Lewis, as we're watching Gavin Hibbs, how much did Gavin learn by pretty much he dominated? I think it was the Michigan race a season ago, or was it the Fontana race a season ago? It kind of runs together. I just remember him dominating, but I also remember you and I talking the whole time. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. And do you think anything that he maybe learned from that particular experience and maybe will be able to apply it today and get that second career win that he's been looking for?
I think you have to keep in mind, I think it was in Michigan, when he was for 5 seconds ahead or something like that. And for sure, we thought, maybe no, but they need to a yellow flag. It never came, actually. So I think the learning is don't come into the front, just save a fuel, be patient, 175 to go, and don't even try to maybe attempt to short your stop to have more gap on the end. So sometimes they put less fuel, thinking about it on the end, you have to put something less or something more to put the equal to finish the race. That's what I supposed to do in my time. I used to do it in my time, and then it's a catastrophe on the end. It's
People
like
on pit road.
no, I.
Oh, Pedro Blibel, black flag, speeding pit road.
So I think he needs to learn on this. He have a good chance because he's leading over there, 21 spots. Good job for him for 23.
The 5-stop window, second stop window for the 5-stopper should be opening here in about 4 to 6 laps from now, give or take. It's going to be in the neighborhood of 82 to 84 for a 5-stopper, if anyone can make it in that.
Ryan Schultz, oh my God. Woo, I have a black flag.
Oh, Ryan pushes his luck one more time, and the kryptonite has found Superman. And he has a black flag, and he'll be held for 40 seconds on pit road for speeding at the cones.
Wait, they changed it to him? Because it's kind of... So also the league allow to don't hold 40 seconds, but they give you a drive-through penalty to don't hold that 40 seconds. That's a good thing to have race control around. So now Ryan Schultz have to come into the pit, make the drive-through, and coming out. So it's gonna lose. It's gonna lose that 39, 40, maybe. I think 140 seconds between you coming through to the pit stop, make your box, and then coming out. It's something like that. You're losing in the pit road. So now he must to come in now to serve the drive-through.
Yeah, we're trying to
I
get
don't know why it's more terrible.
Trying to get the paints corrected here for some reason. I'm not having good. There we go. Seb was not getting into the. Seb was not into the Kenny Breck Indy 500 winning scheme there. So I'm letting Seb slide on this. So Kenny Brick did race in kart. This is not a kart scheme. This is an Indy Racing League scheme. I was at 2 of the wins that he had in this scheme. He won at Indianapolis and won at Charlotte in that scheme. But this is not a kart scheme. But we will let this slide.
Everyone is invited to the party. Don't worry about it.
Now, if he wanted a kart, he could have put the shell scheme that Kenny Breck had when he drove for Ray Hall Letterman. Tristan Fortson coming to pit road.
It is funny when they invited you to the party and everyone is like, you have to come in for this.
It's like a Marvel themed party, and you got one guy that shows up like Batman.
Yeah, it's like
And look at these top 3 right here. Clindy, Seb, Lexus Newsom, Hunter Ingrave now into the picture. And here comes Seb. And, wow, who was that coming to pit road? Hunter Smith? Yeah, no. Not sure who was coming to pit road, but they were right on him.
It is Wagner.
Okay, that was Wags.
And Rexing, yeah.
Next round of pit stops. Open up.
It is so good when you practice pit stop, especially when you're coming to the pit with the tires regulation in 50% or 60%. That's the best scenario to come into the pit and make the practice. That's the best one. So how you do it? Just run in all your tank and start to burn the tires when you come into the pit, and then make it 2 more to check where is your brake point to come into the pit and go to the limit when you come in to the white line. So you don't have this issue when like Pedro did or maybe Ryan Schultz did. Ryan Schultz have the first, they give you forgiven the first one. That's why they didn't give you the black flag. The second one is no more. So they give you no more than 2 chances to allow to come into over the limit. Somebody's on the grass.
Lexus Newsom. Clindy down on the apron. And I'm wondering if he missed his pit road.
Oh no, he have a contact with Alexis. Oh no. You must to see the incident. Alexis Newsom night brakes. I thought Alexis.
Here it is, right here off the corner, and he comes down off the banking, and he locks it up, slides across the racetrack, and right in front of Alexis. And he did the right thing there, Lewis. I mean, he in order to stop yourself from spinning, you gotta remove pressure from the brakes, right? You gotta get those wheels to roll, and all of a sudden they will grab, and that's exactly what happened. But it's going to be costly for him now coming to pit road, and lost a lot of time.
Yeah, that is a lot of time for sure. Clendy have a unsafe pit exit actually. That make you 40 seconds hold. Now again, to make it clear this, Clendy have a black flag once again, but he must to come into the pit, service his stuff, and then have a drive-through penalty. So that's the penalty they give it to the people on the league to don't lose that 40 seconds plus 40 seconds something else in the pit road.
And there he goes. He's down on the way, so he has a drive-through penalty next that he needs to serve because of the incident that he just had on pit road. Now, pit stops are over. We are lap 88 at 250. We have been caution-free to this point, everybody. Thank you for watching. Make sure to tell your friends, spread the word. Let's get more people in here. 31 of you are watching at home right now, and when these Indy cars are on this oval at Fontana, you can always guarantee a photo finish, but it's everything leading up to the photo finish. All that strategy, every bit of racing leading up to the final 10 laps here is very critical. So make sure to get your friends in here, say this is very interesting. And I think that we still see a lot of drivers out there that are working the master chessboard, including Craig Forsyth, Lewis. Look at Craig up to P4 very quietly, up 27 spots. for the driver that races in the everyday Forsyth Racing livery.
Yeah, that's the tribute to all the Canadians, Forsyth team every day. So it could be Villeneuve, could be Campertier, or could be even Graham Moore and many others. Every day, different stuff. But yeah, he was in the group I mentioned in the first team after pit stop. He was 3 seconds ahead, 3 seconds behind, working with the Mason Mitchum to come in now. He is in the top 3. And the other surprise is Alexis Newton started from the pit row, and now she is leading the race side by side with Chris Albert.
And we have not run any ads yet. We're kind of waiting for the yellows, but no yellows, so I'm not going to jinx it. But we will in the second half here before we get to the cautions. Gary, don't do that.
Oh.
Before we get to the finish, we'll make sure to run those ads and get in all the sponsor words here before we get to the end of this critical 500-mile race. And, Lewis, this is the only warm-up race we get 500-mile wise between now and Indianapolis. In the old IndyCar series, in his history, really, there wasn't even a warm-up race. You had one oval race. Typically, it was Phoenix. That would be before Indianapolis, and that was it. And then Indianapolis would kind of start off the triple crown season of the IndyCar schedule, which would typically go to Indianapolis, then we go Pocono, and then we would wrap at Michigan. Here in the Elite Racing League, we only race at Fontana, our Auto Club Speedway, one time a year, always in the A schedule in the first part of the year. So we won't race at Fontana again until next year. But this is the only 500-mile race warm-up that these teams and drivers have before Indianapolis in April. They won't get another 500-mile warm-up or test race to do. This is it. This is a live test for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, actually, it's like I just said, it's the last one until couple weeks. Actually,
yeah, couple weeks.
Next month. Yeah, next month actually it's gonna be on 23 when we have the 16 running. But after that, we have Phoenix in the next week, and then we're gonna go to St. Petersburg on April. So no practice, not even close to practice for the 5 miles. Because after St. Petersburg, we go to the Indianapolis GT, and no practice at all. So this is the last one to think about the long stint, practice about pit stop, practice about the calculation and stuff. So it's gonna be really important.
Yeah, there is a little that carries over from a 500-mile race here at Fontana to Indianapolis. I mean, part of it is getting used to doing a marathon and doing 200-plus laps in an IndyCar at 200-plus miles per hour. Look at this, 4 wide. Matthew Weeks has caught this group now. But there are some big differences. Like, they're not going to have the banking at Auto Club Speedway at Indianapolis to kind of help them through the corners. But these guys, you're right. They're learning how to, for some of these drivers, are learning out there how to save fuel over the course of a 500-mile race to reduce one pit stop at the end of that race to possibly put them in a position to win. So there's a lot going on. Like I said, this is a live fire test for the 500, even though this is at a track that's not even identical to Indianapolis in any way.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, it's a basically sure. Fontana is not the same like Indianapolis, but it's help you to your patience about to do something. Maybe cause you position even the race to the end. For example, don't make the attack yet. Stay on behind for somebody. I know your car is better than the car on the front because of adjustment, but you have to wait it. That's the one that's happened with Adriano Piñeiro when you're thinking they cover the race, didn't many laps, and then on the end it came these three guys on the back, including Maleska, and finished the 3 guys on the back to win the race on the front. So it is really important about the patience, and this is the best example over here. But to be honest, Fontana is not the best example to have a patience because everyone to be on the front actually.
Chris Albrecht to the point over Alexis Newsom. Seb Alexander second, Matthew Weeks in third. We're reloading the paints one more time. Still got some missing ones out there. Some were in the right paint to begin with, and then when I reloaded, they're back to a weird paint again. So weird stuff going on. I'll just delete my paint directory and just let it re-download new from now on. I only do IndyCar races, so this would never be a problem if we weren't running the IR18. Although I take that back, I was having a problem with it on the DW12 race a couple of weeks ago until I had to uninstall Trading Paints and just reinstall fresh. But lap 99 of 250, so coming up to the 200-mile mark here of this race. And Matthew Weeks, the Cup Series champion and Daytona race champion, to the point, winner at the P1 US 500 2 seasons ago. Look how loose he is. So since we're at a point in the race, we're kind of waiting for the next round of pit stops, and we're almost there, believe it or not. Let's take a quick break to get some ads in from our wonderful sponsors, and we'll be right back. We're at lap 101 of 250 for the F5 Challenge 500 here at Auto Club Speedway. Matthew Weeks, the former Cup Series champion and Daytona winner, currently leads. Indy 500 pole sitter Chris Albrecht now just took the lead. He is up at the point. Alexis Newsom still looking for her first series win in third. Seb Alexander fourth, and A.J. Hobson in fifth. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Right now, Tom Bolin Ford, we're offering X-Plan pricing for everyone. Yes, you heard me right, everyone. That means every customer can take advantage of special pricing normally reserved for employees of Ford partner companies. And all you have to do is walk through the door at Tom Bolin Ford. And it gets even better. Also receive a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty, giving you long-term confidence for the miles ahead. Unbeatable pricing, lifetime protection, and a huge selection waiting for you right now. Only at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand towards victory lane. So don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
The Lucas Oil School of Racing. Simply stated, we are the professional ranks where the quality of the equipment often dictates the outcomes, and all of our cars are designed to perform and race as close as humanly possible. None of our competitors will have an advantage from engineering tactics. Rather, you will compete on a completely level field with a score of immensely talented up-and-coming drivers, all pushing each other to reach their new heights in their respective pursuit in becoming a professional race car driver. Every year, our top-performing graduates move on to the professional racing ladders of IndyCar, F1, and IMSA. Whether drivers compete in 1 or 2 seasons of our series, when they are ready to move on, they are ready to move. The training you receive in our school is an unmatched, unforgettable, first-class education combining the very best racing instruction and education.
And we're back at Auto Club Speedway, lap 107 of 250. It is Chris Albrecht, our Indy 500 pole sitter from a season ago. We're going to go 3 wide at the line. Chad Frankenfeld gets underneath everybody. We settle it back out. Now they're 2 wide. Now they go 3 wide again. Clindy up in front of this group. Clindy trying to race to the front. He is 1 lap down now to the leader because of that issue on pit road. And he is trying to he needs to get around the leader and on the tail end of the lead lap, and then he needs to hope for a caution, Lewis. There's a lot of ifs there.
Yeah, a lot of ifs. Actually, AJ Hobson is, my God, a car on the wall. I think it was, Wagner, whatever he was, he hit the keys in the wall in turn 4. John Stella is going to the pits now. Very bad. I don't know. Maybe it's good or bad strategy for him, but let's see what's happening on the end.
He's Stella's about on the same strategy as before, but remember, he had a hard time coming to pit road last time, finding his stall, and that cost him a ton of time. He's back up to 15th, but he spent the entire stint getting back to 15th.
Yeah, actually, it's coming to the pit now. I think the way it's worked, the strategy, I think Clendy needs a yellow flag.
He does.
But they need a yellow flag to be on the front, on the back. And to be honest, he needs to maybe 20 more laps. It could be worse if it's the yellow flag is coming out, because he can maybe stay out, return at 1 lap, and just pray for another one to be on the front again. So it's a mixed stuff, but it's difficult, really difficult how they working. But I thinking about it, maybe the yellow is gonna come in after 20 laps to go, because everyone is getting nervous. I want to see a lot of battles and fight and 3 wides.
I think Clindy, the key thing for him, and if he's working with Seb, and he's right behind Seb there, and there he's passing Seb down low. Clindy needs to. Oh, I thought he was going to slide up in front of Sled. Oh, can't. I mean, that's a little. They're not teammates, but they're technical teammates. And that would have been fratricide right there if he came up on him. But the key for Clindy here, Lewis, is he needs to get ahead of Alexis, because he and Alexis are on the same strategy pit-wise. So if he can get ahead of Alexis, and Alexis comes to pit road, and then the caution comes out while Clindy's ahead of this whole group right here, he gets back on the lead lap.
Yeah, it is true. Actually, really good point of that. And either way, actually, it's going for that. I think I hear you. And I think he saw the lap down on the front. I think it's the best opportunity. It's a lap down on the front. Yeah, Nigel Stock on the front.
Yeah, if he can get to the draft envelope of Nigel Stock, he'll help pull him away from this group. And, I mean, they're right there. They're on the edge of that draft envelope. And, in fact, with the draft there of Weeks on the front stretch, he might actually reach the envelope. He does. He's in the envelope of Nigel Stock right now within 1.5 seconds. So he will be able to pull himself a little bit further and away from this group as we see Paul Mini Letters there on the apron coming off the pit road. And that's even going to help out Clindy a little bit more.
I think he didn't use Paul draft, but they still defended that the low line. That's the line, the high line, sorry. But Wick is coming to the pit. Chris Savage, I think he called to the pit now next time by, so he don't need to worry about Chris. It's just about worry about the Alexis, but I think Alexis is really enjoy the moment, because I don't see she's doing something hard to take the lead. Actually, she's going to take. Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah. Albrecht and Clindy down the backstretch. So a lot of these drivers, and if you don't pay attention to any other races outside the Elite Racing League when it comes to the IndyCar, iRacing IndyCar community, a lot of these drivers, Lewis, and you were in the booth with me over on P1 a couple of weeks ago in the Vote of Indy Oval Series at Michigan, a very similar track to this Auto Club Speedway track right here that we're on tonight. A lot of these drivers drove a caution-free 300-mile race in the Vote of Indy Oval Series. And Clindy is one of those. Alexis Newsom's one of them. But Alexis, remember, at the end of that race, she kind of gave the win away by driving literally the wheels off her car and losing to Anna Klimek there in the final lap. So I would imagine that she has learned a lot from that particular race. But there's a lot of drivers in that lineup that were in this lineup that were in that lineup as well. And I'm willing to bet, and I'm looking up and down the top 10, a good number of those drivers probably learned a great deal from that race.
Yeah, actually, it was a really hot race. Kind of like that was seen today. I think it was a little bit like that on the end, and we had our first red flag race. Actually,
it was a red flag race.
Yeah, actually, that's a good thing to point and now check book. But to be honest, it was really interesting about the Alexis News. Really strange mistake she did when she covered the leader. She started to pull away, and she thought maybe, what if I make this fast in the white flag in turn 2, and she lose because her tires is gone. So she's finished second over the winner was Anna Klimek. So the first podium 1-2 ladies on the IndyCar so far. What I know, the first 1-2 podium IndyCar race, even if it's league or even it's in the fixed on the official series. So it was a really exciting race with the fight to go with Klimek catching her, put it back and forward, and also the lap down make a lot of play in that day when Alexis lose the race by 2 corners, I think.
Okay, I'm going to try one more thing here. Oh, wow. Stellar. Yeah, he keeps putting up those purple laps.
It is really fast. It's now 18. And I seen Alexis Newsom don't do nothing. She want to make a little more laps. She did a 35 last stint. Sorry, 35? 43. So she's at 35 now. So she need to clinch that 40-something to what if on the end, maybe when she comes to the pit, I can make some calculation and see what does she need to win the race and make it equal for the other guys, like for example Ethan Stanley, Tyler Forty. It's almost same to him, right? Gerard Rexin also, it's almost the same herd, and it's gonna be really interesting. Ryan Schultz is in the pack with 2 laps down, and Brian Gridley complaining with somebody do something to him.
Oh, Brian Greeley is missing a left front wing plane. He's in that Porsche throwback. Teo Fabi, Allenser Sr. drove when Porsche made their return to IndyCar racing. They did get a win there in that livery. But he's coming to pit road.
Because he lose the front wheel because he hit the cone. On the exit on the pit road, he came Richard Hearn. He came to the track and lose the control and hit the cone, the blue cone on the exit on pit road.
Glindy coming to pit road. He could not wait any longer. Tristan Fortson on pit road. Winner at Michigan in the Vote of Indy Oval Series. Right behind him, Brian Blauman, still looking for his first win in this series. He's been getting close. He's in a throwback there for Danny Gaius. The flying Hawaiian back up front, though. Ryan Schold now back, not on the lead lap, but he is now 1 lap down. And this is just good for Alexis. Alexis knows this. If she doesn't know this, she has someone helping her that says, hey, dude's a lap down, let him go and just draft. And that's what Alexis does. I mean, we have seen her win the Lionheart Indy 500 by making 1 less pit stop than everyone else. She saves fuel. That's her thing. And right now, if she can lead this race and save fuel, that's the best of both worlds for her.
The good thing, she have a good spotter. For now, she have Christophe Demerit, or Demerit, or like you call it, and he is in his spotter for her actually today, and the guy have a good experience and helped a lot to her to keep in mind. And finally, after many attempts to polish, actually she make a lot of pole positions. She didn't on Motegi, she didn't in Texas, on New Hampshire, today again, but no winners, no even close. Just the top five, top two.
Yeah, she was
place.
so close to the win at Motegi until she ran out of fuel. But other than that, that's the closest she's been. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's the time for her, but it's a lot could happen on this track, man. It's our super speedway, and for one click, it could be lose the race for one nose.
Tyler Fode coming to pit road. Alexis Newsom right behind him, and she had to adjust her line a little bit, but she makes it to pit road, and both of them made it to pit road safely. So I-5G versus Lake Norman. Here we come for another round of pit stops as they hit that 55 mile per hour, and they go all the way to the end to find their stalls.
Oh my God, you know it's funny? With this pit stop he did today, now actually she can go 42, and go to the end with 39 to go. And that's it. She don't need to worry about maybe I have to come into 15 to go or 10 to go or the 20 to go. So I think she have a good chance to be on the front. So we can count in the same strategy Title 40 in there. So it's gonna be a really interesting battle over here with 4 wide, 3 wide passing her on the line.
Showing a car on pit road that's got some damage. Not
Jerry
sure who that is.
Jerry Rexin lose the control on the exit of pit road.
Yeah,
he hit hard.
That's what I'm seeing, his car on pit road with damage, and let's see what happened.
They mistake at the Justin Vandermeer. They mistake.
Off the button and slides to the inside. No caution. Actually, it would have been a caution if the car stopped right there, but there was no cars in the neighborhood, and he towed immediately to keep his caution free. So a former winner in the series. Back up front, though, Chad Frankenfeld, now your leader.
Hunter and Grave have a DC by the wheel.
Oh, again for Hunter Ingrave. Another wheel problem.
He just coming to the pit, doing his pit stop, and
the
3
wide,
to the left.
3 wide into turns 3 and 4 in prime time. John Stellard says, I want to run the point. He goes to the point. Over Frankenfield, Clindy hanging on there on the high side, trying to stay on the lead lap. Now he goes to the bottom. We're going to go 3 wide again in the 1.
Man, that's a good battle for John Stellard. But Clindy go to the lead, but it's not the lead for the group, basically, to have a 1 lap down. That's unfortunate for Hunter Ingrave, out of the race for sure.
Hunter Ingrave for the 2nd race in a row with the wheel DC. And unfortunately, that's he DC'd under caution at Long Beach, and he DC'd, the wheel DC'd for him on pit road. So it could have been a whole lot worse in both situations. But unfortunately, a wheel DC.
I hope it's no Fanatec or...
Don't get me started on Fanatec. Don't get me started on Fanatec.
I have Fanatec, but I don't use it anymore. It's there. I use sometimes. Oh!
If you're just joining us, this is the Elite Racing Network's coverage of the P1 IndyCar Championship and the 5th annual F5 Challenge 500 coming to you from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. We've now completed 133 of 250 laps, caution free. No cautions as of yet. Knock on wood. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next race. The next time you'll see us here on ERN will be next week as we turn to the short track racing in our final oval warm-up race before the Indianapolis 500 in April. It is a fourth running of the IndyCar 1909 250 from the improper Phoenix Raceway. Coverage starts right here at the Elite Racing Network channel at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time next week. For us on P1, this Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, round 4 of Season 12 of the longest continuously running IndyCar Dallara IR05 League. It's the classic IndyCar series as they head the Portland International Raceway. Start time is 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's what's next on P1. So subscribe, and the link is in the description. Chad Frankenfeld, your leader. Chad looking for another 500-mile race win. He has 2 of them, one at Indianapolis, one at Pocono.
Oh, John Stella have a middle flag, have a content in the wall in turn, the turn 3 and 4, boom, on front to Matthew Weeks. So he must to serve the penalty. It's not penalty, actually, the flag, actually.
Let's see what happened here with primetime John Stellard going down into the corner, and he grabbed a little bit of the apron. And did that send him up with the dirty air from Clindy? Did he outrace that car a little bit too much? Yes, he did. And he smacked the wall, and that is a critical hit. And I know Clindy. I know Clindy is a lap down. Actually, Clindy is at the tail end of the lead lap, and he wants to say. People might say, well, he needs to get out of the way. Actually, he's at the end of the lead lap right now. He said, oh, he needs to get out of the way. He needs to get out of the way. But then again, here comes A.J. Hobson, who had a good Indy 500. He's now up in the top 3. But Clindy has every right to try to get this lap back and get back on the lead lap. And for John Stellard, I mean, that right there was a learning moment. He just I think he just overdrove the car and got into Clindy's dirty air and went up to the wall. And if he goes back and looks at that, he'll probably be like, why am I racing, or why was I racing a guy that was 2 laps down so hard?
Well, to be honest, it's a lot of laps to go. It's a little more than 100 to go. And to be honest, it's not affecting nothing in the lineup. Actually, it's helped them. For example, now Chad is past him, but it could be really good to have a Clindy if you want to win the race.
Oh,
for example,
Stellard black flag. Stellard has a black flag coming off of pit road.
Oh, they give it a black flag because the middle flag. So I think they can adjustment, because I think he said that the car is okay, but I don't see any damage on the car. But it's a damage on the suspension, the front suspension when he hit it. So for sure, iRacing give you the middle flag for that. So he thought, well, my car is okay, so I cannot keep running. That's why they have this conversation between race control and all. But I think Clindy intend to go, must to pull back, because it's a battle for the race. But for now, it's a good chance to him to recover 1 lap down. Still two to go, but he must to be really smart how to driving with the other one, because if he wanna run it like a winning the race or like a 10 to go, it's gonna be a problem Okay, he was close to hit the wall with Clindy, but he has to be patient. Maybe the yellow flag is coming out soon. We already have 2 incidents to have this yellow flag, but it wasn't.
So there you see the lead group. It is Frankenfield. He is in that Tony Kanaan throwback, Hollywood throwback. Right behind him, right below him is Matthew Weeks in the P1 car. Right above Matthew is A.J. Hobson, who is now in the 2nd position in that Coors Light. I think there was a Coors Light IndyCar, and I think it was one race, but it was during the IndyCar series. I don't think it was during kart. I could be wrong. Somebody in chat check me on that. But I'm pretty sure because at the time when Chip Ganassi had a team both in NASCAR and IndyCar, and he had the Coors Light sponsorship. But I thought it was a Coors Light sponsorship on a DW12. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Maybe. Let me see.
I'm going to go to the image search here.
It's
No. Actually, it was in CART. Scott Dixon, 2002. I was wrong. It happens. But there's also been the Coors Light Silver Bullets that raced. Allenser Jr. drove that for his rookie year. But it was an entirely different livery, but it was the Coors Light Silver Bullet. But 2002, Scott Dixon.
Yeah. Well, they have IRL for sure, like I just said. Robbie Gordon is that, I think? I see that
Robbie
video,
Gordon
actually.
drove the Coors Light. I can't remember what chassis it was, but it was in the 97 Indy 500. He was supposed to drive the double that year. 3 wide for the point. Only one of the cars in the running there for the lead, though. Or one of the cars not in the running for the lead there. 2 of them are. And if you remember Robbie Gordon during the restart, so they had the start of the race, then they had to delay it a day because of rain, then they restarted the race on a Monday. So it rained out. Did they rain it out Sunday? It rained out Monday. That's right. And they was there for a Tuesday. I was there for that because I remember they just stopped taking tickets. They stopped taking tickets. Anybody, if you wanted to watch the race and you just happened to be walking around the speedway that day, you could have walked right on in. They weren't taking any tickets. In fact, all the concession stands were out of everything. So you would get like a hot dog, but it'd be wrapped in like sandwich bread. They were just out of everything. But that was the race where very early in the race, here comes A.J. Hops to the pit road, by the way. Very early in the race on the restart, on the Tuesday restart, for some reason there was a fuel leak into the cockpit of Robbie Gordon. And he had to basically bail from his car in turn 3. And I remember it happened right in front of me because I was sitting in turn 3. And the poor guy is rolling, like doing the stop, drop, and fire roll on the grass because he was on fire because of a methanol fire.
You cannot see nothing, actually.
Yeah, you cannot see methanol flames.
That's crazy, man.
And we're at that point in the race where we're just clicking off the laps so we can get to the 500-mile mark. Chad Frankenfeld having a good run today. Been up front all day long, started third, led laps. Matthew Weeks, he started in the rear of the pack. He has worked his way up 27 spots, and there he goes for the lead. He's going to have the dirty air of Glindy. It's going to really impact the way he comes off the corner. Going to have a big run on the high side. Tyler Fode, he wants that position.
I think for Chad, he must to stay behind. Well, Chad is going to come in soon to the pit, far away. You have a 35.
Yeah, he went 38
35.
last time. He went 38 last time, so he would like to at least get to that 38 number again.
Automatic Week have a 34, but the other people have a 21.
Here comes Chad.
23.
Chad Frankenfeld on pit road for another pit stop for him. So he makes that long, painfully slow run down pit road. 55 miles per hour. Highway speed for everybody. He hits his marks. Up on the pneumatic jacks. New set of Firestone tires and Shell Racing fuel. They use regular racing fuel now instead of the methanol from I was just talking about with Robbie Gordon. So you can see actually flames now if the flame does occur. Lexus Newsom now your leader. Matthew Weeks second. Seb Alexander third. Tyler Fode fourth. Chris Albrecht back to fifth. Today's 5th annual California 500 from Auto Club Speedway is proudly sponsored by F5 Challenge. This nonprofit organization enriches lives through face-to-face fellowship and exciting adventure challenges in a faith-driven environment. Their mission is built on the 5 F's: faith, fellowship, fitness, fortitude, and fun. F5 Challenge inspires people to lead active, connected, and purpose-filled lives. To learn more and to get involved, visit their website or follow them on social media. All the links you need are in the description. Also want to thank our premier partners of the Elite Racing League, Blue Egg Marketing, Worldwide Technology Raceway, Lucas Oil, School of Racing, and Tom Bolin Ford. Thank them for all being sponsors of this entire league, up and down the entire series of Elite Racing League leagues.
After weeks on pits.
After weeks on pit road. The Elite Racing League's IndyCar Championship is proudly sponsored by P1 Broadcasting. That's a good time to move the camera to Matthew Weeks there with the P1 sponsorship on the side. P1 is an esports broadcaster specializing in online sim racing and the iRacing platform. P1 is a proud sponsor and supporter of the Elite Racing League's IndyCar US 500 and Triple Crown Challenge. To learn more about P1 or to request a quote for your iRacing League, check out their social media links. P1 can be found on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and Linktree, and you can find all the links you need in the description. Off of pit road, Matthew Weeks, another pit stop down. Now he just needs to slowly, or carefully, more like carefully, bring that car up to speed and rejoin the racetrack.
The points leader, Daniel Falkenham, have another problem, black flag, so speeding on the pit road.
Oof.
He must do a drive-through penalty after to refuel and do all that service.
Lucky for him, he has a big lead. Here are the points one more time. He had a 38-point lead over Tyler Fode. He's going to expend most of that points lead with a bad finish here today. He needs a lot of attrition to happen. He is last in the running order of the cars running. We started with 32. He's currently 28th. Tyler Fode's second in the points, currently third on the racetrack. But he's going to have to – he needs a lot more of attrition to happen in order to make up more points. Otherwise, pretty much that entire 38-point lead that he has coming into this race, it's gone.
All depends what has happened today, to be honest. It all depends about what has happened with Tyler Fode, if it's a win the race or even Ethan Stanley. I think Alexis Newsom, if he win the race, is gonna jump in maybe top 5 over there. Glenn is out of the race with 2 laps down, not yet, but so far is trying to his best to recover 1 lap. And Hunter Greve is out of the race. Yeah, I think it all depends about Tyler Fode and Ethan Stanley if they can take the lead for 1 point, or Ethan Stanley can getting close to the first place.
Don't forget the next big 500-mile race we have on the schedule is the 16th running of the Lucas Oil School of Racing Indianapolis 500-mile race. That will be in April. The stream session has already been posted. Make sure to share that out to all your friends. Make sure to hit the notify me button when we go live to give you a reminder. The big 16th running of that Indy 500-mile race. And we're watching Ethan Stanley finish second there our last time. And he very much would like redemption at the Brickyard to get a win. Also, though, one race driver that has a big-time Indy 500 win in league racing here in the iRacing IndyCar community, Alexis Newsom with the big Lionheart Series win. And she has a whole bunch of lap traffic in front of her, and this is just helping her cause once again, Lewis, of saving fuel unlike anybody else.
Yeah, it's doing a pretty good job. Actually, it's a good strategy, a good example to how to be patient and a good approach to what is going to happen on Indy 500, to be honest. She maybe can be the champion, but what if he can win the Indy 500 in her first attempt in the IRL, And funny thing, Nigel Stock spun after exit on the pit road, like has happened with the other 2 cars. And Clendy on radio said, come on, Nigel, do it again. He needs to the cello.
Oh, Clendy on pit road with Chris Albrecht. And they're side by side. Clinty edges out a little bit. Chris Albrecht, this is 37 laps into this current stint. Current stint actually 41, excuse me. So he went a little bit deeper into this stint, though. So this is a scheduled stop. He should have about 2 more after this. If they can get into the 210s, they should definitely be able to get to the end. Oh, race off the pit road.
Yeah.
Clinty taking no prisoners. A.J. Hobson, though, getting a pass on Chad Frankenfield. A.J. Hobson finished on the podium in Indianapolis last season. And again, you can't have an IndyCar race without an A.J. in the lineup.
Yeah, you should be having the 14, man.
You got to have a 14. There normally is a 14 in the lineup, but that driver's not here today. But yeah, got to have a 14. Synonymous with Supertex AJ Foyt. Supertex never won at Fontana, but he did win at Ontario when they used to race there. So. Ontario not too far away from where Fontana is.
I think I have the 14 when I race in this league, but I don't remember. I have to. What it was?
About if you take the approximate start-finish line at each racetrack and you draw a straight line between Fontana and well, the old Fontana now and the old Ontario Speedway, it's about 9 miles difference between the two speedways. That's how close they were on the map.
So
And
almost the same, but it's just short.
Yeah, Auto Club Speedway was a D-shaped 2-mile oval and was kind of modeled after Texas World Speedway and Michigan, whereas Ontario was the Indy of the West. It was actually modeled directly after Indianapolis. Had some slight extra banking in the short chutes than Indianapolis had. In fact, the very first 200-mile-per-hour IndyCar lap was turned at Ontario Speedway, not turned at Indianapolis. Unlike sometimes they want you to believe, the very first 200-mile-per-hour lap was done at Ontario. But unfortunately, Ontario fell on financial times, and the land it was on was worth too much, and it went under. And the same thing, Auto Club Speedway, the land it was on was worth too much, and it went under. Same thing with Riverside Speedway. It pays not to have a permanent racetrack in California, apparently. If you have a street course like Long Beach, that's fine. But if you have a permanent race course, oval, that just takes up very valuable real estate in California. Back up front, Alexis Newsom, your leader. Seb Alexander, second. And Seb's doing exactly what Alexis is doing, just staying right in her tire tracks. Whoa, slides right in front of him.
Seb Alexander calling for the pit now.
And this is Seb Alexander at 42 laps. So we went 42 last time, 42 this time, bringing Wags with him. Wags currently running fourth.
Man, you know what? We don't even mention Wags, to be honest. We just mentioned 40, Stanley, Newson, even Forza. Forza is a little bit down on the thing. But we mentioned Wags for coming too close to the pit with even with Seb Alexander. But I think he's coming to maybe for the photo finish for the race, and he do the same strategy. All this Alexis Newson, even with this even Tyler 40 is almost the same strategy of these 4 cars. So I think the point is gonna be on these 4 cars between Newson, Stanley, 40. I think Mason Mitchell is gonna be over there. I'm gonna set also Wagner's also too. So it's really interesting. The names is gonna be in the battle for the victory.
I'm going to put the driver graphic up as I work on the paints, but Ethan Stanley now is your leader. As we will see next round of pit stops to occur here.
That's not a big difference, actually. I don't see, because everyone is sprayed. Not that spray around, but when you're coming out to the pit, you find somebody, he can give you a draft, and you're gonna regroup again with the leaders again. So I think Seb Alexander, it is 1 lap down because Stanley is up, and Alexis Newson is over there. So even if you do a pit, I see the 3 wide between Clendy and Chad in there. Even you do a short stop, even when they're gonna regroup anyways in some point. So I think everyone is really the margin in between is really close to everyone. And Alexis News is still saving fuel. I think you don't want to even try to make the attempt to fight somebody. The only problem about talking about Chad and A.J. Hobson, even Matthew Weeks, I think they're gonna be a little bit short, but maybe they can do 1 stop short. They need to maybe 2 stop more. That's the problem with these 2 or 3 guys to come into the end. So it's really gonna be really difficult to see. So it's same. They need a yellow flag to everyone regroup in one strategy. I know you're looking for something.
I'm trying to. You keep buying me time, which is great. I'm trying to get the paints to come in again. I've been having nothing but problems with trading paints, and I'm trying to get in the trading paints to work correctly.
When you're quiet, it's because you're looking for some stand or something like that. It's like okay, maybe it's gonna come in for some history stuff, but no. AJ Hobson 3 wide with a lot of that exit on the pit road is so dangerous. I don't know how the people don't wait a little more long to merge into the road with all of these cars. So I seen Tyler 40 exit the pit road in between the turn exit on the turn 2, and that's the same sample what's happened with all the 3 cars incident. I don't remember so far.
We're going to uninstall trading paints, and we're going to try it on the fly here. We're going to try it on the fly.
But there is the battle. Chad in the front by himself.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows about what's happened with him, even with AJ Hobson. But Paul's involved in there. I see Camargo's involved in there. Sometimes it's really dangerous when you see lap down, because I know they, like a Clint is coming now on the front. They want to come back to the lap, but also it's putting in danger your race the way they want to race on the front. I don't say Clint is dangerous, but the mind he wants to be on the front is different to win the race, because when you want to win the race, it's just about timing, about the laps, and it's not about the timing, about the lap down. I have to, and also the people racing around. I don't see it's dangerous. to have a yellow flag. Actually, now it's a one group between 1 to 27. Actually, it's 27, 10. I think it's until 10 position is involved in there. It's a lot of cars in lap down, between lap down and lap in lead lap. So even it's, wow, I see a car almost hit the wall. Pedro Bell.
Pedro's not had a great race. He's kind of hanging on back there.
It sucks because he have a good race on Long Beach and even in Silverstone, but you have these penalties in between and the incidents in between, and he lost at this great opportunity to that. But I think in St. Petersburg it's gonna be good for him because he's got a good track in
the St. Petersburg will kind of level the playing field for everybody because not very many people have it already, and then if you do have it, you don't have very much time. Oh, car on the wall! Clindy up against the wall on the exit on the turn 2. Let's go back to watch and see what happened to him. Clindy up against the wall. He's missing a front wing. Let's see what happened to Clindy as he is. And he made contact with A.J. Hobson, our leader.
Oh, he said on the radio, A.J. Hobson, I feel bad because I don't know if you go to the low or going to straight, so that's why it's still straight to know what is your position going to. That's why I didn't move. And I think that's the problem about the Clendy. He misunderstand the position AJ going.
All right, looks like Trading Paints is working now. I had to uninstall it and reinstall it on the fly, and now I see the directory. The paint is loading into the directory, so I don't know what it is, but this has not been working the greatest on my system. I don't know what for. I mean, I don't have anything in this system needing resources that would require anything to slow down. I'm not even plenty of disk space and everything. I don't know. I think what I'm just going to do is delete everything in that directory before every race, and that might just do the trick. But I think we got everybody back in their paints, and back up front, it is the correct paint of A.J. Hobson, who is coming to pit road for a stop. Oh, he was loose coming to pit road.
Well, that's very loose, but good job of him. Be careful on that. So if you're over, Chad is coming to the pit. So if you're missing one time the line, the second time you're missing, they're gonna give you a black flag. So that has happened with Ryan Cho.
So Chad's coming in a little bit earlier than he did last time with 36. He's going 33 to 34 this time.
Oh, he's out of the contender, man. He's out of contender because they need to one more stop to finish the race, but the other one, they need to only one stop to finish the race.
So yeah, this is one stop plus a splash at the end. He's in that neighborhood.
Exactly.
So let's break out the old calculator. I'm going to bring that up on the screen right now. Move it to another. So we're at 184, and let's say he does 36, right? That gets him to 220, and he would still be able to get them. But well, he's got one more, but it's going to be a full stop for him. It's not going to be a quick last stop.
The thing is that so, for example, all of these, I'm going to talk to Alexis News. So this is the best example because she have a 14 lap. So she needs to come into the pit on the next 30 lap or maybe 25 laps. He come into the pit, he can come into the end. But in between, she must to come into the pit again to finish the race. So I think now he's 19 with lap down. He will lose one lap down in 19. So that's going to happen in the last thing for him. That's why he's out of contender. Included A.J. Hobson, included I think Matthew Weeks also too.
Matthew Weeks is at 33 laps in his current stint. So Alexis Newsom is at 15. How about Seb Alexander at 17?
Seb Alexander is the same strategy as Alexis Newsom.
Yeah.
He have a 4th stop. So in my graphic said 5 for Alexis Newsom.
How about
it's because he started on the pit road.
Well, let's look at the other drivers that we think might have a shot here because of the low count. We got Alexis, we got Seb, we got Wags, we got Fody, we got Stanley. Mason Mitchum is going to be in the neighborhood. Blauman is less than 20 laps into his stint. So those names right there, I'm willing to bet that could be, unless we get a caution, and I'm going to knock on wood again because I don't want to be the cause of the caution. I've had enough problems with the computer. I don't want to be the cause of the caution tonight. That might be your top 5 or 6 right there, those drivers that we just highlighted, because they're so low in their count that they will make their next stop. Their next stop will be their last stop.
But you mentioned Stanley, you mentioned Mitchum. The only small problem about these two guys, they are 4.7 of the group on the front.
Yeah, let's go back
They're working hard.
Yeah. Let's ride with. Let's ride. And they are in a group that is led by Chad Frankenfeld, actually. So that's Stanley Fortson. That's a battle for 9th and 10th. Mason Mitchum's right behind. That's at 11th. And then right in front of them, we have Hobson and Frankenfeld, who just stopped for their next to last stop. And here are the driver inputs. Give you an idea at velocities. 215 miles per hour. Remember, latest updates that we got on Tuesday, along with getting the new track of St. Petersburg, they up the boost on these cars. So they made them faster, not only in qualifying conditions, but also race conditions as well. So we should see faster laps, more real to true to life laps at Indianapolis coming up here in April when we do our 500 there versus what we've seen before. Before we kind of see them get low 230s. We might see 234 this time.
Oh, not the weeks, man. Coming to the pits. Loose. I did a good job. Yeah, I think it's going to be a danger because you come in more faster, actually. You come in more faster on the corners, approaching to the corners, and you have to slow a little bit more, actually, to take the corner. And that is going to be an issue in the tires also, too. So, more faster. More tire degradation on the, especially in the Indianapolis, man, is really difficult. It's really important about the degradation and the way you play with the tires. So here, at least they learn the car is fast, faster than we used to have it before. So at least they learned about that, and it's taking notes for the next 500 mile.
Yeah, definitely taking notes in preparation for that big race coming up here in April. Watching Chris Albrecht, who last lap was a 222, Alexis Newsom 223, Seb Alexander 222. Richie Hearn, he's up in the top 5 right now. He just turned a lap at 222. Wags right behind him at a 222. So not saving fuel, not a 222, that's for sure.
Yeah, Richie Hearn is coming to the pit now. Is calling the commanding to the coming to the pits, and it's same. I think it's out of the contender for the race for the same reason. I think he is 58 to go. They are 58 to go, so he needs to stop.
So they will need to stop. Yeah, one more. So what they'll do, and this is. I mean, let me ask what you would do in this, and I think I know what you would do in this case. With 57 to go, you just take 57 divided by 2 and say one stint you do 28, one stint you do 29.
Oh, I don't know, man. It's like something is melting me down because it's like I should be read this thing before, and I make a mistake. I think
you can't give up. I mean, you can't give up. I mean, there still can be a caution. There can still be a caution.
So what I can do is put full fuel on the tank, coming out, and just pray to come into that. The only problem is I have to come into
Clindy.
Maybe 50 to go.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 50 to go to make that stuff. But well, like you said, no give up. And but in your mind it's like, I missing that stuff, and I left the opportunity to that. I always follow somebody, man, and this is so stupid. Sometimes they follow me, and they follow me, I make a mistake, and they also make a mistake. So, but I always follow. Oh, trying to hit the wall again. The person knows about the heavy fuel. Craig Forsyth could be one. or Alexis News is the other one about that. So could be that stuff for the next one for the 500 also.
And there is our points leader, Daniel Falkenham, with a race that, he really wants to wipe this one from the memory banks. He's leading this pack. A.J. Hobson, 2:25.2, purple lap that time by. But Falkenham's going to pretty much expel his entire lead that he has in the points. Now, the good news for Falkenham is that he's going to a short track, which he won at both the short track races that we've had this season. He won at Richmond, also won at New Hampshire. So those are good for him. And also we're going to a road course, and he's won at a road course. He won at Silverstone. So the season's not over for Daniel, obviously with the bad finish here. But it definitely slows down the momentum that he's been building up to this point. So he is currently running 28th in the order. He is 10 laps down. Clindy is actually 9 laps down, and if something happens to Clindy, he can actually pass Clindy in the order and then move up a little bit and get a couple of extra valuable points in the championship. But Alexis Newsom right behind it. Again, this is Alexis Newsom's MO. She's not going to race these two because she doesn't have to. Ethan Stanley, purple lap.
No, actually, the way she's doing is doing a pretty good job, man.
Yeah, she does not have to race these two in front of her. This is Ryan Schold, who's currently down in the order as well. He's sped coming to pit road. He is 16th, 1 lap down. So the battle for the lead, if you want to be specific, it's this group of cars right here. Here comes Chris Albrecht. He says he's had enough. He's going to go to the point. But Chris Albrecht, he kind of has to because he still needs to stop again.
Yeah, it's actually also too. That's Chris Albrecht is the worst one because I think it's a strategy I told you. So maybe put all the fuel coming to the track and just pray for one yellow flag to refuel again and go to the end. But that's the strategy Chris Albrecht have to do because it's coming to the pit next time by actually. But I think the battle is over here between all of these 5 or 6 guys, included Craig Forsyth. Now it's Craig Forsyth come back to the lead group.
Yep, there he is.
And but you know what? In between, we said everything, all this stuff. They need to battle for the position for the first place, and that's gonna be a close finish. And I think the guy take the second line on the track is gonna win the race. We already saw it. The guy take the first line close to the apron. They don't want to win the race because the tire is gonna be degradation of the tire is gonna be gone on the time we're gonna finish the race. So it's gonna be really important who's gonna take that and how it's gonna squeeze the guy on the lady actually on the track. So it's gonna really important.
There is Tyler Fode. He's one of the ones to watch. He goes underneath Matt Wagner there. Matt's one of the ones to watch. So watch this group right here. Alexis Newsom is at the point. She still needs to stop again. Seb Alexander needs to stop again. Matt Wagner needs to stop again. Tyler Fode needs to stop again. But that is it. They need to stop any more. Forsyth, 37 laps since his last pit. He's getting into that danger zone. Can he get closer to that 40 number? Mason Mitchum, purple lap, 2:26.
My God. That's fast. I think Forsyth is gonna be a little bit short. Gonna be short for.
I think Craig's gonna be. I think he's gonna be short. He needs a caution, but he needs to really get closer to this number right here being 40.
But you remember I told you about that effort to catch the front guy is gonna cost.
Yes.
Gonna cost on
Yes.
the end. That's
Yes.
the problem.
And that was like 3 stints ago.
That is true, man.
Well, we will watch for final pit stops, and we will take our final break, and we will bring you the action continuously to the end here of the F5 Challenge 500 at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. Your current leader is Alexis Newsom, who has been running the point, and it is now, I think the win is in her hands, or it's in the hands of herself, Seb Alexander, Matt Wagner, Tyler Fode. Ethan Stanley, if he can catch up to that group, he will be in the mix. Mason Mitchum is on the border of in that mix as well. Now, let's talk about something else that we haven't talked about, and I don't know if it's really going to pay much dividends in these cars. If this was a DW12 race, maybe those that had that extra stop there toward the end would benefit with the new tires, because we know new tires in the DW12 is everything. Do we think new tires with a late stop is going to be everything here unless there's a late caution? I don't think that's the case. If the DW12 was here, a late stop, new tires maybe makes up the difference. Late stop here in IR18 probably doesn't make up the difference.
I think about the IR05 also too. But I remember in that race, I don't remember which league was. I come into the pit in DW12. I came to the pit. I didn't change the tires, but 10 to go, my tire is gone. I thought, because I made an analysis, I said maybe it could be don't change the tires and just splash and go to the end. And that's what I did, and my tire is gone. I think the tire is really important, but like I said, the DW12 is more strategy, and it could be a little more boring, this situation, more about the inside of this guy, because everyone's going to be on one line. Because everyone wants to save a fuel. So that's the problem about that stuff, the DW12. But I think the same strategy, the same condition, but maybe just change it about the. Maybe they're gonna make it one more stop for a splash on the end.
And we see a car peeling off the pit road. That might be a final stop for that driver. Who is that? Brian Blauman. This will be final stop for Brian Blauman. Blauman went 41 on this stint, 44 on this previous stint. He's going to be 40 to go, so this should be his final stop for Brian Blauman.
I think it's Colin. I'm not sure.
Wags.
Oh, yeah.
Wags with Seb. That was a dicey entry, but he makes it. Seb Alexander, black flag.
Well, Wagner said, I have to come into the pit. I have to come into the pit. Guys, I have to come into the pit. I have to come into the pit. And Shad complaining about him, about what is that? But they said, yo, I have to come into the pit. He was in the worst position. I think the people didn't listen. He come into the pit, unfortunately.
And Seb Alexander came to pit road, and he was looking for back-to-back 500-mile race wins. And that effort is now over for Seb Alexander with a black flag speeding on pit road. But Matt Wagner, now the good news for Matt, his stop's done. He doesn't have to stop anymore. This race is done for him. All he needs to do is complete it on the racetrack. The bad news for Matt is he came in with a draft partner, but he's leaving all alone. Lexus Newsom coming to pit road. Tyler Fode, final stop. Mason Mitchum, final stop. All final stop for these drivers.
They may need to little bit save more, maybe 10 more laps to save, and they good to go. I think. Because they're always thinking about it, well, by yourself, maybe you can do 35 or 36. So I think it's better. If you're asking me, I prefer to save a little more fuel, 10 more laps to save it, to secure that thing on the end. So, because you're going to go full burning fuel, actually, on the end for the final definition on the track. So I think this is it for her. And just fingers crossed to have finally the first win and the ERL. Sorry.
Ethan Stanley is now your leader, and in front of Ethan Stanley is AJ Hobson and Chad Frankenfeld. They are the only three cars on the lead lap. So if a caution comes out right now, Ethan Stanley is looking to look how quickly he gets down on the apron. This is going to be a fast approach for Ethan Stanley. This is going to be a good entry for him. as he comes to pit road, and he will turn the lead over to Hobson and Frankenfeld. But both of these guys are already 30 laps into their stints. They will have to stop one more time.
Yeah, exactly. If you come back to the Lexus Newton sheet and the group and the first group on these maybe 10 or 11 cars on the front, but you know what? In between, she have Chris Albrecht. She have 12. Fortune have 11.
Oh, we got a car slow on the apron. That is Colin Heil in the target car. One of the target cars.
Very important about that, man.
So we'll go back to where we think the win is going to occur. Stanley's coming off, and he will join that group. He will join that group. So he will be the tail end of it. Albrecht, he's going to have to stop here. Well, he's about half between. He's in a different group. Okay, so let me reset this for me, and it might be easier if I just show you pit stint length. Here we go, stint time. So Hobson and Frankenfeld, there's no way they can make it to the end. They gotta stop one more time. So these guys are locked in, whether or not they like it or not. Their destinies are locked. Fortson and Albrecht are probably much in the same boat. With 35 to go, if I do the math at 14 plus 35, that's 49. They're not going to be able. They'll have to stop again late. So they're hoping for a caution for sure. Richie Hearn's kind of in the mid-range between these two guys, and I don't think he's going to be able to make it either. He will be the closest. Newsom for sure can make it. Fody for sure can make it. Wags for sure can make it. Mitchum for sure. Forsyth, he's kind of in the same boat a little bit with Hearn, kind of. It's going to be really close. But there you see the different strategies. So we got like 5 strategies. Some are single car, but, we got strategy A, which is Frankenfeld and Hobson. They're going to have to stop again. Strategy B, kind of Hearn by himself. Strategy C, Fortson, Albrecht, Forsyth, right around in that group. And then you got strategy D, which is Newsom, Fody, Mitchum, Wags.
What is that? What is the score in the school? The worst score you have at the school? Minus what? D minus?
A D. It'll be an F. An F.
F. Okay,
yeah.
That's the story on the AJ Thompson and Chad. F.
Okay. All right. Okay. F. Okay. They get an F. Okay. And then so Alexis has got the A.
I think it's an A.
A. Okay. All right. A. So what do Fortson and Albrecht have?
I'm gonna say the C because it's all dependent on the jello.
Okay, there you go. So there are your final marks with 32 to go. Headmaster Luis Gonzalez Nunez.
Yep. Actually, Chad is coming to the pit.
Chad, remember, Chad has to pay you for this, so he might just say, I'm not going to pay you for an F. Sure. Final stop for Chad Frankenfeld. F is for Frankenfeld. That's what F means, right? This will be final stop for him, hopefully. A.J. Hobson's going to beat him off pit road. He'll at least have a racing buddy, but they will not be racing for the win unless there is a late caution. And they're going to be at the tail end of the lead lap, but they definitely won't be coming to pit road. They're done. So now Trusted
the dangers about stuff.
What happened?
Man, the dangers. It's so dangerous to have these 2 laps down. So, for example, AJ Hobson and Chad, because they're gonna do the best to catch and lead the group, and I want to lead the group because I know it's gonna come in a yellow flag, 50 to go, 10 to go. If it's happened that, I'm gonna regroup back and stay on the track again, and maybe what if with the race, but it's a lot of cars on the back on that. But it is tough. It's really difficult. I don't like it when you have the mix of all these laps down in between. It's because that is going to be a disaster for Alexis Newton even.
All right, so what we're going to do is before we get to the end of this race, We're going to get our last commercial shots in from Worldwide Technology Raceway and all of our premier partners. We'll be right back. 28 to go here at the F5 Challenge 500 at Fontana. Chris Albrecht and Tristan Fortson, your leader, but they still need to come to pit road. Alexis Newsom, Stanley Hearn, Mitchum, and Fody, your next 5. Can they make it to the end? We'll see. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
2026 season speed at Worldwide Technology Raceway are on sale now. The Barometer Automotive Group 500, June 6th and 7th, the USAC Classic. Fires the NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 on time. Camping, food, and fun. The stars of the Indy 500 are coming to St. Louis. Get your tickets now and save big at WWTRaceway.com. Tickets are on sale now for the 5th Enjoy Illinois 300 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. September 11th through 13th brings a full weekend of action with the NASCAR Cup Series, NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and St. Louis's biggest music festival, Confluence. The stars shine on and off the track, and your ticket gets you everything: cars, concerts, camping, food, and fun. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now and save big at WWTRaceway.com.
Right now at Tom Bolin Ford, we're offering X-Plan pricing for everyone. Yes, you heard me right, everyone. That means every customer can take advantage of special pricing normally reserved for employees of Ford partner companies. And all you have to do is walk through the door at Tom Bolin Ford. And it gets even better. Also receive a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty, giving you long-term confidence for the miles ahead. Unbeatable pricing, lifetime protection, and a huge selection waiting for you right now. Only at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand towards victory lane. So don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
The Lucas Oil School of Racing. Simply stated, we are the professional ranks where the quality of the equipment often dictates the outcomes, and all of our cars are designed to perform and race as close as humanly possible. None of our competitors will have an advantage from engineering tactics. Rather, you will compete on a completely level field with a score of immensely talented up-and-coming drivers, all pushing each other to reach their new heights in their respective pursuit in becoming a professional race car driver. Every year, our top-performing graduates move on to the professional racing ladders of IndyCar, F1, and IMSA. Whether drivers compete in 1 or 2 seasons of our series, when they are ready to move on, they are ready to move. The training you receive in our school is an unmatched, unforgettable, first-class education combining the very best racing instruction and education.
And we are back, and the gloves are off, the elbows are out, and we're at that part in the race, Lewis, where you said, 10 laps, let's just get into this thing. 20 laps, let's get into this thing. Now we're 20 to go. We are into this thing, and you're like, now it's time to go racing.
Yeah, we are business basically. And now is the moment when you're
cook the meat.
When you're
cook the meat.
Yeah, actually, it's now the. But you know what?
Whoa,
oh my
God.
Whoa!
Foggingham on the high side over AJ.
I think it's helped all of this to Alexis. I think nobody want to pull away. It's just they want to race, and Alexis is the one to gain all of this stuff, because I think Chad is there. Chris Alvarez is have to come into the pit. Ethan Stanley is still struggling in the battle in between.
Tristan,
So
I think Tristan
really
Fortson's going to have to come to the pits. He's your leader. That is that maroon and gray car that's in the front of your picture right there. He's going to have to come to pit road. We'll look at stint times again, and this will tell you the story. 30 laps. We got 18 to go. It's not going to add up. He's going to have to stop for a splash there at the end. Albrecht kind of in the same boat. Then we're looking at Newsom, Stanley, Mitchum, Foti, maybe Forsyth, definitely Wagner, maybe Blauman, probably Blauman. Car sideways out the corner, and that is Chad Frankenfeld. And how he saves that, I do not know, but he saves it. And what he wanted was a caution, but he did not want to be the caution. And here's what happened.
They have a contact with AJ Hobson. What a save on Chad.
And it's interesting because he's racing Hobson. You would thought they would work together a little bit more, but and it's netcode. And almost on the Albrecht. In fact, Albrecht into the wall, and it's right in front of Ethan Stanley.
Yeah, Stanley complaining about that. I think, like you said, they working together, but don't help me too much. I think we are good for that. But all is held to Alexis Newsom win the race so far, because Stanley is trying to push it. You know how hard it's pushing.
Watch this.
With 20 laps over the old tires, so it's really hard over here. Even we have a 97 degrees in the track so far for now, but even it's hard to make the pass. It's going Stanley actually.
And Chad Frankenfeld, purple lap, a little bit of red mist, a 226.3 on tires that are must be screaming right now. Probably light tanks are helping. Look at all the rubber buildup on these cars. They look like Dalmatian dogs with all these little black spots all over them. Chris Albrecht is your leader, but he's going to have to come to pit road, and nobody's helping him out. No one's going to help. Fortson has fallen behind. He's now decided, like, the best thing I can do is fall. Well, here he goes to the lead. So maybe he just decides, well, the best thing for me now is just to race this thing out. AJ Hobson, same thing. AJ's done with his final stop, but unfortunately, he's trapped a lap down. He's first car a lap down in 11th. And here comes Ethan Stanley. So this is going to be your battle for the win. It's going to be the Marlboro car of Alexis Newsom, right there in the center of your screen. And then Ethan Stanley, kind of in that baby blue car and the Newegg sponsorship.
Chris Alvarez got it to the pit now.
And Tyler Foti.
Forson's coming to the pit too.
And Tyler Foti is now snuck into the picture. And Mason Mitchum's there. There's Craig Forsyth. I think Craig still's got some more to save. 13 to go. So Tristan not coming to pit road, but Albrecht is. Final stop, Albrecht at the inside. Whoa! Oh, and he almost missed. He almost hits the wall, but he catches it. But that's going to effectively end his race. Any hope now is gone for our Indy 500 pole sitter. And a good effort. I mean, he was talking. We were going to bring him up into the booth tonight and have him talk about F5 a little bit, because that's his sponsor. And he had an injury on his wrist, and he's roughed it out. And I will give him all the credit in the world to come this far and to come so close. We suspect in a couple of weeks, though, he will be a player at Indianapolis. Back up to the lead now. Ethan Stanley is now running the point. Ethan Stanley running the show, and he's your pick for the championship, Lewis. And that's even before we saw Alexis Newsom join the roster. Once we saw her join the roster, we're like, I don't know, maybe we want to repick our picks. But Ethan Stanley looking to go 2 in a row and get another 500-mile race win. He has one to his credit. We see other cars coming to pit road. That's Hunter Smith, I believe.
He doesn't look like want to fight, man. Don't know. Look at that. He's like, maybe I still save fuel to the end.
And Mason
Hunter
Mitchum's
Smith have
there.
a black flag.
Let's take a look at stint time as Ethan's blinking out, by the way.
You don't want to blink out now.
So here's your stint time with 10 to go. Stanley at 26, now 27. I mean, last stint he went 42. Alexis Newsom went 42. Mason Mitchum went 42. Fody went 43. Forsyth went 42. So Forsyth, he's going to be right on the edge.
Forsyth gonna be in the edge. Yes, this 34. He need to finish the race saving fuel. Alexis Newsom already put the position. She just choose the position to be on the end of the race, and that's the position she's gonna finish over there. She's gonna be on the close to the apron. Now she's going to the high line. I don't think.
Oh. AJ wants on that lead lap. Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching Elite Racing Network's coverage of round 7 of 12, the Elite Racing League's P1 IndyCar Championship, coming to you from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana for the 5th annual F5 Challenge 500, where currently Alexis Newsom leads, and we think that she is done good to go to the end. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you miss out on the next race. The next time you see us here on ERN will be next week at Phoenix Raceway for our final oval warm-up race before the 16th running of the Lucas Oil School of Racing Indianapolis 500-mile race for the 4th running of the IndyCar 1909 250 from Phoenix Raceway. Coverage starts right here at ERN 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time next week. If you need more open-wheel racing injected into your soul, and who doesn't, then tune in to P1's Tuesday night open-wheel oval racing doubleheader. Race 1 starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time with the iRacing IndyCar Series Tuesday night top split at Homestead, followed by Race 2 at 9:30, the iRacing Indy Next Oval Series at Motegi. If you like open-wheel oval racing, then don't miss out on some of the best oval racing racers on all of iRacing. Tune in and catch all the action starting at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time this Tuesday night over on P1. Tristan Fortune, purple lap that time by a little too late, but we're coming to 5 to go. It is now Newsom, Stanley, Fody, Mitchum, and Forsyth. That is your battle for the win.
227 flat. So I think Alexis Newsom need to play with the car down. So the car down. Sorry, Hobson. Lead Hobson to do the stuff, and she can lead the line on the second line. That's the line to maybe gonna make you win the race, because you cannot put the car on the first line. Look at that. He was in the first line, and now she's leading the race. So she need to defend these two lines close to the apron. What is she doing now? And now she have to
look at this. Look at this.
Right.
Ethan Stanley, and he's going to lend the draft to help his teammate. And it's going to be a battle between Lake Norman and I5G in a handicap match at the top here for the finish here of the F5 Challenge 500 at Fontana. 4 to go, 8 miles. It is going to come down between 3 of the biggest names in all of IndyCar racing in the community. Stanley, Alexis Newsom, Tyler Fody, side by side like the start of this race. 3 wide at the point. Alexis Newsom to the bottom of the racetrack, coming to 3 to go, Lewis.
Handicap matches is kind of hard there. But you know what is happening in WWE? When it's handicap match, always win the handicap guy. So, or this case, at the
disadvantage, yes. So, but that's scripted. That's scripted. We don't script our races.
Pretty good. But I think she knows how to do it, man. It is not something we know. She knows how to do, and I think she's just waiting for the moment to make the move. And that big move is gonna be to choose the second line, or maybe go to the apron and take the lead. Look at that. This Tyler Fody on the high.
There we go, 3 wide, Fody. We have not seen him at the point all day long, and with now 2 to go, he's going to go on the high side over Alexis Newsom. Fody not only just looking for the win, but he's also looking for his first 500-mile race win, and also the championship points lead. He's going to pinch Alexis Newsom to the bottom, coming to the white flag. 2 miles to go, and let's not count out Mason Mitchum. He's on the high side. We're going to go 4 wide for the lead, going to the 1. Mason Mitchum with a win in the 4 IndyCar Championship at Kansas a couple of weeks ago. A win at Indianapolis in the Votive Indy Oval Series. He's looking for a 500-mile race win on the high side in the middle is Ethan Stanley. Down low, here comes Tyler Fode. Turning for home, checkered flag is out. Alexis Newsom, does she get her first win? Ethan Stanley on the outside, looking for that 500-mile race win, and Alexis gets it at Fontana.
You never did you see what he did? He just used the line what I never expected to win the race. I don't know what the Ethan Stanley did, can't make it, but he didn't, and he won the race for 1,600 of a second.
Let's go back and watch that if we can. And yes, a great run and a great send and an opportunity there for Mason Mitchum, just knowing the draft off the corner.
Wow.
And if I can get a better, there you go. That's not the one I want to use. That's not a real camera. There, well, that's not a real. That's too guarded. Let's see if I can find a better. That's about it right there. That's about it.
You want to hear something?
Yeah.
Craig Forsyth out of the field when he crossed the line.
He made it. He made it. All right, let's take a look at
Yeah.
at the results. I'm trying to find a better. That's about the. I mean, that's got the angle of. It's got the catch fist in the way, but I'm sure we'll have some better shots over on the Discord. Invites in the description, by the way, everybody. And you know what, Lewis? We did it again, my man. We did it again. A caution-free 500-mile race.
Should we have our Triple Crown, no caution, free caution yellow, all the stuff for us?
Do you know how often it is that anyone gets to race in a caution-free 500-mile race?
We did Indy 500,
yes.
Michigan, and California.
Well, we did. It was 300 miles at Michigan and votive, but it was 500 here and 500 Indianapolis. So the Elite Racing League, 2 500-mile races in the last 2 years, caution-free. I mean, that says a lot about the racecraft of the drivers that choose the race here, and just everything in general. The setup, this is a fixed setup race. It's good setup. Everybody just doing a good job. And there were opportunities to bring a caution, and the caution never occurred. The fact that you and I got a chance to call now 2 caution-free 500-mile races, not going to see that in NASCAR. Not going to see that hardly in NASCAR, right? So I feel pretty privileged. But there, Alexis Newsom winner by 16 thousandths of a second over Ethan Stanley. Let me see. Let's see here if the closest finish here is still Jason Brophy over Ethan Stanley by 12 thousandths. So poor Ethan. Another podium for Ethan, but unfortunately just still seeking the win. Ethan finished third last year, second a year before, and second again. So this place owes him. Mason Mitchum very quietly, 97 thousandths of a second, comes home in third. Tyler Fode, this is going to help him in the points a lot, in fourth. Craig Forsyth fifth. Matty Wags, we didn't talk about him hardly at all the whole race. He brings it home in sixth. Brian Brownman seventh. A.J. Hobson and Chad Frankenfeld in ninth. And Chris Albrecht, despite that incident on pit road there at the end, comes home in the top 10. We got Tristan Fortson, unfortunately, with a late stop. Richie Kern with a late stop. Seb Alexander speeding on the pit road for his final stop. Matthew Weeks had to make a late stop. Ryan Schold with the speeding on pit road. And it comes back. Some of these drivers we're talking about, Lewis, they made one mistake all race long, and that was it. Just because there was no cautions, there was no chance to reset yourself. One mistake at the midway point of this race cost a number of these racers a good finish here.
Yeah, Clendy, Daniel, Seb Alexander, that's the worst one. John Stella, Hunter Gray. Well, we have an issue there. Even Ryan Schul, he was on the front. It's a lot of stuff we can talk about, but I think the worst one was Seb Alexander on leading, and the last stop he have a black flag for speeding. That's the big mistake, and that's you have to learn it today to the Indy 500 to do it.
Yeah, and this is the last. I mean, green flag pit stops here. Green flag pit stops in Indianapolis. They're going to be critical. There you see Daniel Falkenham, our points leader, finishes 27th. We're going to see how that shakes him out in the points. And points are up. We will talk about the points here after we get our first interview in. Let's go through the rest of the order. Jared Rexing rounds out the top 30 there. And there you see Gavin Hibbs. He had himself a great race. Jensen Vandermaal. Again, all these thumbnails you see for the IndyCar Series and the points graphic that are done by him deserves better than a 32nd place finish, and unfortunately that's kind of what he came home today. But I'm assuming he's looking much better when we get to Indianapolis. Of course, everyone's got to qualify, so don't forget, qualifications first.
It's going to be a long... Only 33. We are today... Oh, by the way, 2 hours and 20 minutes race. 19 minutes race. The last time we did 2 hours and 26 minutes. I don't know how, but we did that.
Let's get some replays queued up, and let's talk to some of these drivers who I'm sure are very exhausted right now. Very exhausted. All right, here we go. All right, let's get into the interview room, and let's talk to Mason Mitchum, who had himself, and I'll let you determine who your driver of the race is going to be, Lewis. And I think I know who your driver of the race is going to be based upon how he just barely finished. I think it's going to be Craig Forsyth. But man, Mason Mitchum, if he didn't finish in the top, if he didn't finish in the top of the order here, he probably would have been a candidate because he improved 18 positions on the day. And let's bring him in. Here is Mason Mitchum joining us in the booth. Mason, wow, what a race for you. 500-mile marathon, and it kind of played into your hands, starting in the back of the field and just kind of pacing yourself. I think maybe over in votive when you got that win at Kansas, and you said you started learning a little bit on fuel saving. It kind of paid off here a little bit. Class was in session then and went for the diploma today and almost got it. Took it 4 wide on the white flag lap and just not enough momentum on the high side to get that lead. But what a great run to the finish there, improving 18 spots, started 21st and coming on the bottom step of the podium. Congratulations. Talk about the race. First of all, did you expect it to go caution-free like it did?
Yeah, and, you know, I never expected it to go caution-free, but I do want to mention real fast that I accidentally got a black flag to start an EOL to start the race, so I started from basically last, besides Alexis, who started from the pits, so that made it even tougher. But like you said, you know, I put a lot of effort into trying to always make the number, right? If I think it's going to go green, you got to think it's going to go green, and even if it doesn't. And that way you're prepared for if it ends up being a full green race like this one was, which probably no one expected. But I'm glad that I eked it out, and then I was just saving like 1 lap extra every single stint. So that way on the last run, I knew if I pitted on lap 213, I could go map 1 without even having to worry with a full tank, just because the way it works out with the fuel mileage, it almost equals 4 miles per gallon. So I knew if I just multiplied it by 2, that puts me at 213, 37 laps to go. Bam, I'm making it, right? And I'm probably just not quite as good as Alexis is, and that's just the truth. So it's okay I don't feel terrible. I maybe could have got second, but oh well, third place isn't terrible. I'll take it, right?
And also being the final 500-mile warm-up before Indianapolis, a place that we know that you race pretty well at. But the whole battle really at Indianapolis, you don't even worry about the race. It's qualifying first and the number of drivers that are going to show up and try to qualify for the Elite Racing League's Indy 500, the 16th running, sponsored by Lucas Oil School of Racing. After what you learned today, kind of an live fire exercise here in a 500-mile race at Fontana, how do you feel about going into the month of April and looking at qualifications for Indianapolis? Getting a good finish here, you got to feel pretty good, but there's still a whole other battle of even making the field of 33 at Indianapolis.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really good drivers, so making it into the race will be first priority. I think once I get in there, it just comes down to just doing the strategy in your head, and always ever-changing strategy, right? There's got to be multiple different strategies you can select. But first things first, I got to make it. And I will say, like, as much as I'm pretty okay at qualifying and things like that, I'm not the world's best qualifier and the 4-lap average at Indy 500 type style races. So I'll need to put a lot of work in to get there, and hopefully I'll make it into the race. I don't really care where I start at, because once I get in there, it's just going to be about, what do I got to do to get to the end, right?
Right, and it's like they used to say with the old Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. To play the game, to win, you got to play the game. So yeah, to win the race, you got to make the race. But it's got to be a good feeling. Now we have a couple races before we get to qualifying in Indianapolis, but a podium at a 500-mile race before Indianapolis feels pretty good. Then we're going to an oval, which we know that is your specialty. When we go to Phoenix, and then one more road course race, and then we get back to qualifying for Indianapolis. So you got to feel pretty good to go into the month of April on that good footing. Any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to for the big P3 here today? Your best finish ever here in the Elite Racing League.
Yeah. First off, let's give a shout out to the Elite Series, right, presented by P1. It's a great, fun time out here. We had a bunch of cars. We had, Chad put on a pretty awesome race. I went green the entire time, so maybe I'll start being able to come here more often and be able to have fun. Let's give a shout out to Shane Coker, who runs Votive Racing. He does a great job of making sure he puts us in position to always be getting better. We're always around these good drivers where we can learn things off of them, right? Kind of add on over time and get better and better and better. So that way, eventually we'll be a big time contender out here on Oval. So give a shout out to him for making us better and doing a great job at Votive. Shout out to my family and friends, anyone who's watching this race. I hope you had fun. This is one of my good races. So, maybe I'll have to start sending out the link so everybody can watch it, because this doesn't happen all the time.
Well, we want you to do that anyways.
But yeah, oh yeah, I do it every time, I promise, every time, But yeah, I just want to, and lastly, I just want to give a shout out to you guys. You're always doing a great job. I love listening to it. Keep up the good work, and I will see you guys in the next race, hopefully on the podium again.
Yeah, and if I'm looking this up right, and I don't see an entry here for this, is your first career Elite Racing League start too?
Actually, it's my second. The first one was Motegi, or what I call Mategistan. Because guess what? That was not my favorite race, and I hate that track, and I died on the first corner, so pretty much just axe that one off. It doesn't matter. This is my first one. Let's just call it my first one.
I don't even see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to refresh. I don't even see a previous IndyCar start for you here in the series. So, officially speaking, 1 for 1 on podium races and finishes. So, yes. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, Gary. You have a good rest of the night, and see you guys soon.
All right, that is Mason Mitchum, as we'll move him out of channel there. Oh, he just drops on his own. And we'll go over the points here. I just want to double check that this is his first. I don't see any other record for him here in the IndyCar series. Double check. There, yeah, just the one start today. That's it. So not a bad record. Let me bring up Ethan's stuff here real quick, and then we'll talk about the points. And bring up Alexis's stat line too, because that's going to matter here too. There it is. And let's get in. Let's change the camera to what Mason did get a chance to lead one lap. That's good for him. That's an extra set of points. There is Ethan Stanley. He finished second today. All right, points-wise. We talked about this, Lewis. I don't know if you noticed anything, you want to say anything, but Daniel Falkenham lives to see another day, but he had his points lead almost cut in half. He came into today at 38. Cutting that points lead in half would have been, well, actually, it is a cut in half. It was 38, now it's 19 over Tyler Fode. Ethan Stanley now third, 64 points behind. So Tyler Fode still a race and a quarter behind the battle for the lead, but not out of it yet. He's your pick. I know he is for the championship. But your thoughts on the points now going with our first 500-mile race done, and now we're looking at Phoenix now on the horizon. Thoughts on the points championship? Falkenham leads by 19.
2 points. Tyler Fode, 19, like I just said. Alexis Newsom, he is fourth now with 91 behind. So a lot to go. A lot of good happen. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go, and this 5 to go is 3 or 4 ovals. So it's really is gonna be really excited. Actually, no, 3 ovals and 2 rows. I think so, or something like that.
Yeah,
and
there's an oval on Phoenix. Then we got the Indy 500 and then Gateway. So actually only
Gateway,
3 ovals. Yeah,
and 2 rows. Sorry. So really still a lot to go, and the big one is Indy 500.
All right, let's get Ethan Stanley in here, and here he is. Ethan Stanley, second today, and man, this place sure as heck owes you. You have a 500-mile race win at a similar track at Michigan. In fact, that was your first, I believe, career win. You finished third here last year. In 2024A, you finished 12 thousandths behind Jason Brophy. And today you finished 16 thousandths behind Alexis Newsom. Talk about your day. You just hung around and you got yourself in a position to win at the end, but you really just kind of weren't up at the front all day. You were working your way up there through strategy, and it really paid off through strategy.
Yeah, I just kind of put it around, save as much fuel as possible, pretty much just map 5 the whole race. So I'd have that at the end and just full filled, and just was able to run map 1 that whole final stint. And yeah, unfortunately, just wasn't the first car to make it to the bottom up front, because ultimately, with how much the track temp dropped at the end, that's kind of where you wanted to be, just at the bottom, hugging the line. And yeah, Alexis just beat me out there with the hybrid deploy on the final lap.
You're now third in the points. You're, like we said, about a race and a quarter behind the leader, which is still Falkenham. Your teammate Tyler is now second. He halved Falkingham's lead in half. He went from 38 to 19 now. But you're about a race and a quarter behind at 64 behind Falkenham. But still, strength of your schedule still ahead. A couple of road courses, and of course Indianapolis, which you finished on the podium last year. Still a long way to go, and you're still Lewis's pick for the championship. But how do you feel at the second half of this season and getting a podium today, coming off a win? You got to feel the momentum's building at the right time.
Yeah, I hope so. I never really put myself as the favorite to get the championship or anything.
Yo, you're not supposed to do that. Only Lewis does.
Yeah. Well, Falkenham has got a pretty sizable lead, so it would take him having another race like this, disconnect or wreck or whatever, for us to really be in contention. But yeah, it's looking strong for me going into the next couple races. Looking forward to Indy GP and I believe St. Pete. Those should be pretty fun. Phoenix, I'm not too sure yet. And then Indy, looking forward to Indy. Really good result last season, so hopefully I can replicate that again.
shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, of course, Blue Egg. Anyone you want to say hi to?
Yeah, of course, Blue Egg. Big shout out to them, being a long-time sponsor on the car. Shout out to the Lake Norman guys, me, Fody, Blattman, and Rexing as well. We all had pretty good runs for the most part.
Yeah, 3 of you were in the top 10 there.
Yeah, we're all on that same strategy. Just Blattman didn't quite keep the pack. I got stuck behind. But yeah, just big shout out to you guys up in the booth. Love watching all these races back. You guys do a great job. And big shout out to Will and all the admins that run this stuff, and Chad, of course, for running the league.
Well, congratulations on the P2. Again, good momentum going into the part of the season that we know you do well. You've won at the Indy GP before, I believe. You finished on the podium at Indianapolis, and of course that we always know you're in the running. And when we get to the final race of the season at Gateway, and those are all coming up on the schedule. And win last race, second here by 16 thousandths of a second. Oh, so close, almost 2 in a row, but peaking at a good time. So Ethan Stanley finishes second today. Congrats, and we will catch you at the next one, sir.
Yep, thanks, guys.
That is Ethan Stanley. And now we get to Alexis Newsom. And before we bring her in, Lewis, I mean, when we both heard that she was signing up for the league, we're like, uh-oh. This is going to make things very interesting. And we wanted to change our picks, right? And we just knew that it was a matter of a time before Alexis would get that win. We just knew it was a matter of time.
To be honest, I kind of said that. I hope she's not going to get mad for my comment, but it's taking so long, man. Really long, to be honest. She a great chance to win it, man.
We will bring her in. We'll bring her in right now, and we'll greet her by saying, it's about time. Alexis Newsom with the win by 16 thousandths of a second. Congratulations. Lewis was saying it to me. He's like, yeah, it's about time. I'm like, you know what? It's about time. We knew it was just a matter of time. You get the win. It almost was that opening win at Motegi, but ran out of fuel. But today ran the fuel strategy to the absolute max, and was able to put herself in position to just really have the car there at the end. And unlike we saw at the Vote of Indy Oval Series, where you kind of wore out the right rear a little bit and had your car loose there at the end of the race, not so much the problem today. And I want to say a little bit more dominant fashion, even though you only won by 16 thousandths. We were kind of just, we knew you were in it to win it. It just, you got to finish these races anyways, and you brought it home as the winner. Congratulations. Long sought after win, and you finally got it.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. I think this is the first thing I've won since I started racing again. But yeah, I'm really happy. I really thought I was done for at the start because I accidentally missed the start, and then I barely got on to the rear of the pack. So
okay.
Yeah, that's what happened there. So from there, I was just trying to save fuel and be patient and pick my way forward, and it really worked out. Like, I got lucky a few times, like especially when I had that close call with Kyle on pit road entry and a few other times. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I think it went pretty well.
We weren't sure kind of what your strategy was there at the beginning. We saw you starting for pit road, and we're like, well, there's a lot of names, or we're starting 3 wide. Maybe she just doesn't. Maybe discretion is a better part of valor here, and starting from the pit road.
No,
I've done it. I've done it before, so starting from pit road. Okay, so you started dead last at a deficit, right? You drove yourself all the way to the front, and you did it without any cautions. This was 100% fuel strategy that you were able to drive yourself up to the front. I mean, there was nothing given to you. There was no breaks of slow down for 3, 4, or 5 laps, wait for the caution to go away, go back to racing. Here comes another caution, get some more track position. There was nothing earned there. You had to do almost everything the hard way here.
I mean, sort of, but like everyone was saving fuel, so all I had to do was spend a little more to move up, and then save a little more, spend a little more, save a little more. I just kind of did that the whole race. But yeah, at the beginning, I was really scared because I didn't think I was going to latch onto the pack, and I was like a 1/10 of a second from losing the draft.
Ooh.
So if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have been able to get anywhere near the entire race.
Well, mission accomplished, and getting a big 500-mile race win. First win in the series. You are now, I think, the 38th different winner in Elite Racing League history. The last three 500-mile race winners, yourself, Hunter Smith, Seb Alexander, first wins were 500-mile race wins. So that is a trend that continues on now. Any shout-outs, any friends, any family, sponsors, anyone I want to say hi to? I know you had to have Demerit or somebody working the box for you, and I'm sure that was a big help, and they deserve a shout-out. But getting back on that winning podium is a huge step for you, and we know you've been looking at it.
Oh yeah, thank you. Like, I had Chris spotting the whole race. I'm really happy to have him there. He's always so helpful. So thank him a lot. And well, thanks to the whole team, and thanks Brendan for personalizing our throwback paint.
I love it. I love it, by the way. I love the Oster one instead of the mobile one sponsorship.
Oh, yeah,
I like,
yeah. He still gets a sponsor.
Even though he's not on your team anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, and thank my friend Maddie, who's been cheering me on, and it's their birthday today.
Oh.
So, yeah, I guess that's all. And thank you guys, and the league.
You know that we do nothing, but you guys on the racetrack sure make us look good. We appreciate that. But congratulations.
No, you guys are great.
Congratulations on the win. We knew it was just a matter of time, and we'll see you in a week when we go back to the short oval at Phoenix.
Sounds great.
Lewis, Alexis Newsom finishing third, and of course your driver of the race.
I point to Craig Forsyth, 26th spot, started for 31st. I'm gonna also mention AJ Hobson for Sean Mission and Stanley Pat. They have an interview, so they have the Gloria over there in the microphone. So he's finished of 7. Craig Forsyth with out of the fuel when he crossed the line. So pretty good job for him, saving fuel, and just finished on 7.
Okay, so a little trend here that I've noted now, and I just need to type her in.
Yeah,
but
I read that too.
Yeah, I've noted that over the last 12 500-mile races, we've now had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, half the races, half the 500-mile races we've had, the winner has been a first-time winner. That's actually more than that. Going back to actually Stanley winning at in 2023 at Michigan. Brophy winning his first race, which was a 500-mile race in 2024A. Weeks won his first race at Michigan in 2024B. Hamilton Akabueasy won the Indy 500 in 2025A. Then Hunter Smith won in Indy 500 in 2025B. Seb Alexander won at Michigan in 2025B. And Alexis Newsom here at Fontana in 2026A. It really shows that you need experience, right? And all those names have a lot of racing experience, but it just shows that you need to have your car in a position to get the win. And it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And if you got yourself in a position there at the end, you have a chance, whether you're up against someone with a ton of wins like Adriano or Frankenfeld or Brophy or even Caleb Bency back in the day. If you're in the neighborhood, you have a shot, and that's what each one of these drivers have kind of proved, that they're worth their salt just by surviving over the length of the 500 miles to get themselves in a position to win.
Yeah, so I have to mention this before that. So this race, Alexis Newsom won, is the fastest 500-mile race by 250.511 miles per hour in 2 hours and 19 minutes and 20 seconds.
Wow.
So it is the fastest than the Indy 500 we did. It was a no caution race when the Hamilton Akabueasy won the race that day. So it was that. So that was really, really impressed. So answer your question, for sure, even with that, is it's a mixed stuff, to be honest. I think, like she said, I got scary about the point I start to lose the back. I knew it about Mason Mission have a EOL because he used the apron, also tries to force on, but I didn't tell you because you're already running with the standing, and then I forgot to tell you. But they, to be honest, they push very well. To be honest, I really didn't expect to Alexis use that line when I said don't use that line because the degradation of the tires, you cannot turn in, and maybe you're gonna lose we saw a lot definition on the Fontana, California. Don't even try to use that line because you're gonna lose the race. So even in the Lionheart too. So with the DW12 or the Lotus 79 with IR18 at that time. So it is even that. So I think the names happen over here. It's just about the time, about the patience. Alexis Nilsson lost the restart, but she start from the back, coming to the front, win a race from the pole. Ethan Stanley, even Mason Mitchell running with patience on the back and forward. I saw Ethan Stanley went to long, seconds on behind to be on the second. He was really close to win the race, and it was a really, really good race for everyone, to be honest. I was really impressed how it was in yellow, with no yellow, versus the other one we did in the last season with two yellows. Two cautions, on that day when Adriano Pinheiro won the race. So it was a really impressive race, and really congratulations for all of these 30-something cars we racing here in Fontana. So the next one, you already have the schedule in the point. So yeah. March 19, the Phoenix 250, the proper Phoenix. For sure, is going to keep an eye on the Danny Fockingham in the way, but we have to keep an eye also in Tyler 40 because the guy knows how to do in the short tracks. He did a good job I remember one of the shortest Dover when he won. Even Alexis Newsom have a good example in the oval. So if she wins in the next one, it could be good approach because it's a drop for sure. I'm gonna say drop week for St. Petersburg for everyone, but he can come in strong for the last two races in Indianapolis and then and the St. Louis 500 and the last race on the season. So it's a mixed up. The championship is still alive, at least with the mistake of the Daniel, and that's making him more excited with the last.
Well, it wasn't a Daniel mistake. He just had a DC and just a bad place, wrong time. Just it happened to him.
He did a mistake actually.
Oh, he did.
For the black flag.
Ah, that's right. You're right. And then he had the DC. Yeah.
Exactly. The DC is unfortunately. But the mistake of the black flag, thinking about if he be on the leader and have a black flag. So also it's a point to have it in the Indy 500. Don't overestimate the brakes on the IR18 because the car is not braking, man. It's not braking. Even when you're talking about the hybrid, the car is going straight and don't brake it. So thinking about it before, that's what I told me somebody. If you want to brake it before your mind thinking about it. That's the point you have to brake it. And that's what you have to go into Indy 500. So see you next week for the Indianapolis IndyCar 1909.com 250 from Phoenix.
You know, she mentioned something that it scares me, is that this is her first win after kind of taking a little bit of a sabbatical. And this, we know that kind of Team I5G is in a little bit of a rebuilding period, but this is, you know, I think the floodgates now can potentially open for Alexis to very easily. I mean, we've seen how she qualifies. She's what if? Yeah, there's a lot of what if before.
No, what if this year this season is about the learning? The next season is about the icon for everything.
Yeah, it's true. She's already won 4 poles this season and only got her first win now, and it could be she could go on a run for the rest of this season. We don't know. So the floodgates could very well easily just been open here with Alexis, and all it takes is one little win here, and it's more than just a little win. It's a 500-mile race win at Fontana. So that is my thought there. 7 of the last 13 winners at 500-mile races got their first win. So I love that fact. This is our third first-time winner this season. The record's 5. So if we can find 2 more first-time winners, we'll tie the record that we set just last season. And we still have half the season to go, so still a lot to happen here. And there's still a couple drivers that are kind of on the cusp. I mean, we just saw Mason Mitchum today. He still doesn't have a win. Brian Blauman still doesn't have a win. A.J. Hobson races so well at Indianapolis. He could be in the run for a win. Albrecht qualifies well at Indianapolis. He got a top 10 here. He could be in the neighborhood for a win. So there's a number of drivers that could fill in that position of getting another win here to add as to the first-time winner. But 38 different winners over the 13 seasons of the Elite Racing League's IndyCar Championship, and Alexis becomes the 38th different winner today. So it just says that a lot of history here, and a lot of different drivers of varying backgrounds have gotten a win here, and she now joins that list of hallowed drivers. Congratulations. Let's get on out of here and get everyone back their Thursday nights, and then we can get a start on our weekends. Gosh, the weekend's already here.
I have to work tomorrow, so
I
it's like my week starts tomorrow.
I do too. I have to work tomorrow, but we do have an IndyCar race this weekend. No IIS this weekend. No IIS, but we do have an IndyCar race this weekend at Arlington. I'm looking very forward to that. Everyone, make sure you check that out. That's going to be an exciting race, first-time event. And I hear that there's going to be a ton of people there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the stands look like for that. But that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium here for the 5th annual F5 Challenge 500 from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. Alexis Newsom becoming the 38th different driver, 7th different driver in the last 13 500-mile races to get their first win in a 500-mile race. Getting her first win this season, and now 4th in the points. Look out, boys. Look out. She gets the win. Ethan Stanley, coming off a win last week, comes home in a podium finish, second, 16,000th of a second only behind Alexis today. This place owes him 2 podiums, or 3 straight podiums, 2 seconds and a third. We shall see in a year from now if he can finally get that big dub. He's in the neighborhood. We'll see. But that comes home second today. Mason Mitchum, first start ever here in the series, and gets a podium finish. He comes home in 3rd. Join us again next week as the championship campaign moves on to our last short oval of the season, as the teams and drivers head out west, or stay out west, to the racing crown jewel in the Arizona desert, albeit improper Phoenix Raceway, for the 4th running of the IndyCar 1909.com 250. Coverage begins around 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time right here on ERN. Again, at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com. Just keyword search Elite Racing Network. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy. Please help ERN with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, the bell for weekly reminders so to miss out on more of ERN's other iRacing programming, including the Tanks.GG Truck Series. They run Sundays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Racecraft Grand National Series. They run Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But if you have an itch for more IndyCar racing, then check out P1's broadcasting Open Wheel Road Racing Monday Night Doubleheader, with the official iRacing IndyCar Open Series starting now at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by the iRacing Indy Next Series at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Racing however you like it. Can be with fenders or without. Can be found right here on ERN or over on P1. Tonight's 5th annual California 500. We're going to Arizona next. From Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, is proudly sponsored by F5 Challenge. This nonprofit organization enriches lives through face-to-face fellowship and exciting adventure challenges in a faith-driven environment. Their mission is built on the 5 F's: faith, fellowship, fitness, fortitude, and fun. F5 Challenges inspires people to lead active, connected, and purpose-filled lives. To learn more and to get involved, visit their website, follow them on social media, and all the links you need are in the description. The Elite Racing League's IndyCar Championship naming rights are paid for by P1 Broadcasting. P1 is an elite esports broadcaster, broadcasting and specializing in online sim racing on the iRacing platform. P1 is a proud sponsor of the Elite Racing League's IndyCar US 500 and Triple Crown Challenge. To learn more about P1 or to request a quote for your iRacing League, check out their links at social media links. P1 can be found on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and Linktree. You can find all the links you need in the description. Special thank you to our elite premier sponsors, Blue Egg Marketing, Worldwide Technology Raceway, Lucas Oil School of Racing, and Tom Bowling Ford. Don't spin your wheels. Accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. And the Blue Egg car almost did that today. They finished second today. Congrats to the Blue Egg crew. Worldwide Technology Raceway is a premier motorsports facility located in Madison, Illinois, just minutes from downtown St. Louis and the Gateway Arch. Make sure to visit their website and buy tickets for their upcoming premier event, especially the upcoming IndyCar race later this summer. Lucas Oil School of Racing is dedicated to developing the next generation of open-wheel drivers through professional instruction, real race cars, and on-track experience. Tom Bowling Ford is your trusted Ford dealership who offers extensive new and pre-owned inventory, as well as lease specials, finance options, and expert auto service. To learn more about these premier partners, make sure to click on their links in the description. For business inquiries and learn more about the Elite Racing League and what they do, subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and you can always follow us on X and Instagram. So for Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at the Elite Racing Network and the Elite Racing League, I'm Gary Gotso. And also, don't forget about folks at P1. We're sponsoring this thing. I'm Gary Gotso saying, good night and thanks for watching. And all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, especially those into the air and on the sea in the Middle East. Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again next week at Phoenix for the next race of the Elite Racing League's P1 IndyCar Championship. We'll see ya.